Hi there.
Good morning.
Good
I'm,
morning.
I'm sorry for the late opening. My computer was deciding it didn't want to work today.
That's what happens on Monday morning.
I know. I had it turned off. I was doing a complete reset of some software and I had turned it off completely, which is rare. And it wouldn't turn on. It was just like, I don't think so. And I was truly beginning to panic. I was like, okay, I'm gonna grab my phone, email everyone. How do I get the roster? How do I, I was like, and then finally it said, good morning, bing, and it started opening up. I was just having a minor heart attack there. Very minor. Certainly a stress anxiety attack. This is like not the time to choose not to work. Anyway, I've been having issues with it, and so I've been working on it. But sometimes when you try to fix things, certain things get messed up. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Anyway, so welcome. And I hope I didn't scare everyone else away, given the time everyone should be here. So I'm afraid I might have scared some people away if they couldn't get in. Anyway, oh, good to know other people are having problems. Not that I want them to have problems, but a direct message. Okay, guys. I think I might have scared people away because very few of you are here. Let me see now that I have my computer up and running if I can email everyone and tell them come back. Maybe they're like, maybe there's no class today. I mean, I don't know. What did they think? But this is
I just private messaged you
yeah.
about Joanna.
Yeah, thanks. That's why I said it's good to know others are having problems. And then I went, no, that's a horrible feeling. Why would I be happy that others have problems too?
Yeah, no.
Okay, here's a few more. Let me go to the reminder email, which has your guys' emails, and send another one saying, we're waiting for you, or something like that. Nice. Here we go. So you guys will get a reminder too. Okay, so
That's almost all women.
something is happening. I was typing a letter and ready to send, and now I froze. There it leaves. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I hope it works enough to teach today.
No, it's got a real old computer.
What's that? What? Did I hear you say something about a computer?
Yeah, that was Debbie. I said, Anna's got an old computer. I didn't know, I thought I was muted.
It's an old computer. Yes. Well, yeah, it's 2015, which at this point in life is an old computer. Yeah. Okay. So now you're all getting an email going, please come back. Please join us. In case some people got scared away. You didn't, because here you are. So yay. All right. Move this in. Go over to the chat and say, hi, I'm here. So basically go and click on the chat button at the bottom of your screen where you have all your buttons. Click on that and just write something, anything, even not hi, or why did you open later? Whatever you want to write, just like go for it. All right. So hello. we have had an intense weekend of trying to fix my computer, and I understand what I'm doing. So I know how frustrating it is when people have, weird things happening. But there's a difference between user, was it when there's accidents, airplane accidents, user mistakes, or
Goofs.
machine, what's that? There's a-
Goofs.
Goofs. No, there's a pilot error or something like that versus machine error. And many times there's a good combination of both. And there is one thing that's pilot error in this one, and is that my computer is too full. When your computer gets too full, it starts malfunctioning, and there may be nothing else wrong and it's malfunctioning. But the problem I'm having is with my external hard drive. Anyway, long story. So the stuff is still in there, and thus weird things are happening. So I need to empty it out and see if that's it. And if not, I need to reinstall and stuff like that. But anyway, so there's combinations, right? Of, because I put too much stuff in it, it's having trouble. Now, what troubles it's having, I'm trying to fix. Anyway, I have, let me close. I have, let me share my screen. Well, first of all, what kind of questions do you have based on things that happened in last class and things that you practiced? And remember that I always tell you that if you practice the things we do, you will have things that don't work the way they should. And that will create a series of questions that you can then ask right now at the beginning of the next day. Anything? Did anything come up?
I have a question on notes.
Yes.
There's a category called notes, and then there's a category called iCloud. And they seem to be a duplicate. But I'm not sure what the difference is between the two.
They are completely different. That's why I'm trying to go back to why do you think they are two very distinct items? But
Because
notes would be inside of the iCloud.
yeah, because my iCloud count, it tells me how many notes I have, and the count in the iCloud is higher than the count in the notes.
Okay. There you go. There, I can answer that.
Okay. All right.
So here's the thing. The iCloud has a series of apps, right? So I'm going to head over to my system preferences. So if you guys want to follow along, open up your system preferences. And to enter your Apple account in system preferences, remember that for people who don't have Catalina or Big Sur, then you find a little white cloud down here, right? For the rest of us, to get to Apple ID, you go up here. Yeah. So I'm going to click in
I
here.
haven't done anything with Lucy. I tried to put her outside and she.
Oh,
wouldn't
let me,
stay
I'm going to,
outside.
Vera, I'm going to mute you for a minute. There we go. I just muted you for a second so that you can have your conversation. And so in the iCloud, there's a whole series of apps that you just see right here. So if everyone got to this place, this series of apps here includes notes. Okay, so the iCloud is this big space that holds all of the stuff that's on all of the apps that you see all, most or many of the apps. I'm not going to say all, many of the apps that come in your phone and your computer as a given to you when you kind of buy your computer. So not things you've added, not apps you've added, but things that come in your computer that are part of the OS, part of the Apple operating system. Many of those have material that you enter, right? And if you enter it, like you type or you create things in those apps, that stuff that you create gets saved, not only in your computer, but also in the cloud and also in your phone. Okay. So for example, an address for someone. So the contacts app has to save that information, or the notes app. So any note you write has to be saved. So there's certain apps that come with a computer that just make the computer run. Those aren't part of the cloud because you don't have any involvement in it. But things where you want material that if the phone were to die, when you open the new one, you'd want it in there again, that you don't want it to be the barren beginning, that kind of information, even a bookmark you made in your Safari, that's the information that gets saved. Okay. So the notes is one of those apps. That's why I'm saying they're a completely different thing than the cloud. It's just like, it's like the membership to the Apple cloud is the information of all of these apps, and notes is one of them, right? So I know I'm not answering your question yet. First, I'm explaining the whole, what are these apps and what do they do and why are they in the cloud? Okay, so your personal iCloud, your Apple ID that lets you in to see what's on your iCloud, is what's going to be on the apps that you have entered something into, or not, or you have maybe never made a notes, right? So, but it's available for you to make a note. So the moment you make a note, that information can be available for you in all your devices. Okay. So the app's information is what flows, and you can have 10,000 contacts in there or one or none. The moment you put something in, it's in there. So it doesn't mean that you've used all of these apps. Maybe you don't put your contacts on your computer. Maybe you don't use reminders. Maybe you don't use notes, but if you do, that information is saved in the cloud. Okay. So now, why is it possible to have different number of notes? So now that's the first thing she said that I'm addressing. The second question she had was very specific. How come I have a different number of notes on your computer than you do have on the cloud, right? So when we entered that cloud by going to iCloud.com, put in your password and saw what's on the cloud, there's a different number there that's on her phone. Does that make sense? Or a computer? Which one did you mention? Your phone or your computer?
The phone.
The phone.
Yeah.
So how different, can you tell me what the numbers are, just out of curiosity? I mean, very different. And I'll explain why now. But
Yeah, so I'm under notes and it says all iCloud 607 and then notes 384.
so it's about double, right?
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
seem. So on the phone, 607. All right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking you were talking about the computer. Okay.
Yeah.
That had the different numbers of notes. In the computer, the answer is 1, and on the phone, let me make sure on the phone. I'll tell you now what and why is in the computer, but let me go back. Here we go. Let me share my phone. Just So here's the explanation for that. And I wish the only thing, you guys can share your computer screens with me. You can't share your phones with me. So you have to just tell me what's happening when we go to talk about your phone. But here we go. First of all, I'm going to open, let me make a new share. I'm opening my notes in my computer first. I'm going to show you that first. And then I'm going to show you my phone. But the thing is that I haven't really shown you how to use the Notes app yet. So I want to be clear that there's something happening here, is that I don't usually show how to use the apps until later, right? No, but this is important. But what I'm teaching in this class is the cloud and what happens, right? So it's fine to talk about this because it's a perfect example of what happens with the cloud, what moves through and that kind of stuff. The only thing is that some of you have never made a note. And so if you open your Notes app, go ahead and open it. If you've never used it, it might say, welcome to Notes or something like that. It'll be empty. So go ahead and open it, you guys, so that all of you can follow through a little bit of what we're talking about. And if you have used it, then yeah, that's great. Keep it open. Now, when you open up your notes, I'm trying to remember, when you first open up, do you see only 2 columns or do you see this third column?
On my computer, when I open the notes, it doesn't have what the numbers are. It doesn't say how many notes I have.
Do you have Mahat, right? You had an older system, right?
Yeah, mine's like 2012.
Okay, so that might be why they just didn't have numbers at that point. That I don't remember back to 2012 if notes had numbers or not. But I can confirm, Bill, on your second computer, does your notes not have numbers on it? I can always confirm because there's someone else.
The new computer has, yes, notes, and it has the 3 columns.
Okay, and the old computer,
The
if you
old
look at
computer,
notes.
I'm just opening it right now.
Okay,
So,
just to confirm it has no numbers other than to see if maybe something's turned off in hers, but and never mind. While you do that, I'm going to continue. So here I have a whole bunch of notes that most of you probably don't have notes like that. If you have any note, it's just the note, right? Just kind of written here. So loose notes get put in here when you organize them, you make little folders like I did. And so I have, you know, a little folder in there, a little folder in there, a little folder in there that holds different amounts of notes, right? So here's the thing. When when you open this, do you see in here something that says on my Mac or on Mac or just Mac or something like that? Here on your left side, do you see something that says on my Mac? Sarah?
Let me see here. No. Oh, well, no, it says all iCloud notes.
All iCloud and then notes. Does it say on my Mac or something like that?
No.
Okay. Does anyone else have that there? Because for years, you have that, Heidi? Okay. So for years, notes just worked. You just took notes on your computer, on your Mac. You just took notes on your Mac. That's it. Notes has been around for years and years and years before iPhones and before the iCloud and the whole thing. And in the past, you could take notes on your phone, you could take notes on your Mac, but they wouldn't be the same note, remember? Because the devices at first weren't talking to each other, right? And so all notes were on your Mac. When the iCloud began, which I believe 2012 sounds about right, when maybe a little bit earlier, when the whole system began to work, that you synced the material from one to the next. I'm trying to remember, when did the iCloud actually begin? Let me do a quick Google, you guys, because I need to ask this question, just because I'm trying to set when did the iCloud begin to, you know, Apple will launch the iCloud on October of 2011, it says here.
Ah.
So October 2011, the iCloud launched. We didn't even know what Cloud was. Your computer is from 2012. So it was something that was either beginning, was not used by all of us. We didn't really understand what was happening. And for many years, we had to plug in to sync things to move from place to place. So your computers from the time still when all of, you know, like your operating system stopped being updated early on, when this wasn't yet part of the cloud. So surprisingly enough, maybe you weren't making notes at that point, but Heidi has some of those. If anyone else sees anything here on the left that says on my Mac, or if you don't have 3 columns, then go get them by going to view at the very top. I can't show my view because I'm showing only this window, but right next to the Apple, if it says the word notes next to it, then right next to view, you can see hide folders, and then you see 2 columns like this, right? And I'm going to share again so you see what I'm talking about. Whenever I share my entire, here's my notes, right? And when I share my notes, you only see this window, but way up here is where you have the tools for it, right? So if you are seeing the notes here, you should be seeing next to the Apple the word notes, and here under view, you can say show folders, or you can say view hide folders. But one thing I just see right here, which I hadn't seen before, look, hide note count. or views show note count. So
Oh.
actually, I had not noticed that. So there you go. See if maybe that's what's off, right? Okay, so now it might show you the note count. But the point I was trying to make about on my Mac is that there's in the past, we only saved our things onto the Mac. So when the iCloud began, you could choose to make a note on your iCloud so that it would also be on your phone, or you could still make a note just on your Mac. And that was saved in a folder just on your Mac and did not move to your phone. Okay. To your cloud nor to your phone. So on your computer, it would be typical to have maybe 20 notes on your computer, 10 of them on your Mac, and that's the only other 10 on the cloud. Does that make sense, you guys, what I mean about you could divide what stayed just on your computer and what went to the cloud? And so Heidi, those notes that say on my Mac in your computer, they are only on your Mac. If you look on your phone or on the cloud, you would not see them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And when I actually opened it, because there was only one, it's from like 2018. I didn't even know.
Yeah. So you can move it like you could a folder. You can right click
Okay.
and say, well, I don't want to actually go into that one, but you can actually go into, I don't know, how would I do it? You can go into this one and you can move it to the iCloud. Okay. Instead of having it in there. Now,
Oh, okay.
so that kind of thing is what if you now go onto the phone, I would think, and this is that you might have some notes that you just have on the phone and not on the cloud, right? So I'd have to see your phone to see that. But if you go to your phone now, and now I'm going to share my phone. New share my phone. So the reason I'm explaining this, even though I haven't really said how do you make a note, is because I'm trying to get you the idea with one of the apps, what's the point of the cloud and what happens to the material that goes back and forth. Okay. So if you've never taken a phone yet, I don't have my phone connected. Hold on. I've got it plugged in, but not connected to connect your iPad or phone. There we go. So here's my notes app on my phone. And if I go to my notes app, then right now, this is that same set of folders that you were just seeing before, remember? And as you can see, I have some things on the iCloud and I have some things in pipeline. So all these that are in pipeline are not going to show on my iCloud. So in here, if you go into a note, for example, and you go into that folder again, to get back out to see the folders, you need to go to the word on top that said folders and click on that. And that takes you to folders. And this is where you can go see where your notes are. And some of these might not be in your iCloud. You might have some in another account, in a Gmail account or in something else. Sarah, can you follow through with that?
Yeah.
And what do you find there?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are you seeing over here, do you see that you have some of your notes in one place and some in another, like I do, or not?
No, I just have the iCloud. I have something called the Daily Doppler.
No idea.
Um,
Is it something, I don't know what the Daily Doppler would
It
be.
has 0 notes. I have no idea. I don't think I've
So-
ever used it.
Okay, and everything else you have here says iCloud. So
Um,
like iCloud, all cloud is everything.
Okay,
And then do you have folders like this made or
Yeah.
not?
yeah, I do. I have
Yeah.
notes and then with folders.
Individual folders, but
Yeah.
these folders notes should add up to 1441. You know what I mean? It's not a different thing.
Oh, okay.
This should add up. I have no idea. I can't sit here and do this numbers, but
Yeah,
this should be
no,
that.
oh,
It's like all of
I
these
see.
notes should add up to that number. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That clears up my confusion.
All right.
Yeah.
Because these are just folders. I have a total of 1400 notes, divided into all of these folders.
the
And this is where my stuff is. And then I have some notes over here in pipeline, and they're not in my cloud, but they are in my pipeline notes. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect,
So-
thank you.
For those of you who don't have any notes, and since I have been explaining notes, I might as well spend a little bit of time working with notes than for you guys. I have let's do one here in the phone. You guys all have your notes open in your phone right now? Yeah, so go ahead and open your notes app in your phone. And remember that if you don't know because you've never used it and you don't have it easily available because you've never used it and you're like, I don't know where notes is. So then just put your finger somewhere in the neutral area and then just pull down, like just pull down. And then you get to the search and then just write notes in your search, right? So notes, and then it'll pop up. Because sometimes, I mean, it's an app that comes with the Mac, and with the phone, unless you've deleted it purposefully, you have it there, but you might not know where it is if you don't use it. I use it so much that it's on my front page, but you might have it hidden. So then you click on your notes, okay? And then to make a new note, and you might already be inside your notes like this, for example, in there or something like that. So you might already be in here and you might not see the same thing of folders. To see the folders, you have to go up here to the top left to see the folders. But if you don't have folders, there's nothing to see, right? So all you need to do is make a new note. So notice that down here at the bottom right, you have a little icon that is like, it's supposed to be a little pencil on a pad of paper. Okay, so click on that little pencil with a pad of paper, and now you're making a new note. Okay, and I'm actually gonna back out of, I'm in the folder called House Ideas Remodel. So I'm gonna back out because I would rather make this note in my SBCC folder. So I'm going to first click on my SBCC folder for those of you who have notes. And so now I'm going to make the new note and see it's going to drop itself inside of the SBCC folder. You can be organized and do it like that before, or you can just make a note and later when you have time, organize it and put it in the right place. That's completely up to how you want to do it. So does everyone have a new note opened up on your phone?
Yep.
And we could have been doing this on the computer first or on the phone first, but wherever we make it first, later we're going to go find this on your computer. If your notes sliders and check marks are turned off in both places, turn on in both places. So now let's write a note. And so I'm going to say testing how to make a note. And notice that the first line comes up like a headline, big bold, because it's the first line. So it turns into the name of your note. Okay. Then when I start writing, this thing comes up and this allows me to do a lot of formatting and stuff to it. But right now, all we want is just note. So now when I hit the return or enter key, now the rest of whatever I write, see, I'm just going to type that is just regular text because it's not considered the type anymore, the headline anymore, right? So now I'm going to say, this is a note. I'm not very inspired this morning, as you can see. This is a note sample. Now I could also make a list. This could be buy milk, buy I don't know, buy bread, right? Buy, I don't know, what else would I need? Buy some yogurt. Okay, so say that I want to buy all this stuff, and see how I mistyped yogurt because fingers. And then down here, I'm being given 3 choices to which is the right one. So I'll go, oh, I meant to write yogurt. And okay, because it was a typo and then that showed it to me. So I'm going to write another word that could be wrong. What else can I buy? I'm going to buy apples and I put 1 P in it. And as long as it's still underlined like that, I can go down here and click on the correction instead of having to correct it myself. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah, that's
All
great.
right. So now I wrote apples. And by the way, and if I had written it wrong, so say I write Milge, because I mistyped the milk. I hit my finger, the J instead of the K, and I hit return. See how it got self-corrected to milk?
Hmm.
I didn't even have to correct it. Now, if it's a very strange word, so if I write milk and it's correct, it doesn't get highlighted. But if I write milm, it's not a word. And so Apple's intelligence, Apple is going down to the bottom and wondering if I mean one, either I really meant milm because it's a name, so I can recheck this. No, I meant milm, or it assumes that I meant milk, and that's when I hit return and it corrects it for me. See,
Hmm.
I don't even have to choose it. So if I don't have to choose it, it'll choose the, if I don't choose it, it'll choose the middle one. But what if I'm trying to write a name? I was just talking to a friend of mine here was yesterday, and her name is Momi. It's a kind of name that is not a typical name. We were talking about this yesterday, names, and it just occurred to me. This is her name. So if this shows up yellow, because since she's in my contacts and stuff, my phone already knows that I have this friend. Maybe it's not coming up, but it's telling me, do you really want Momi? Or did you want Momia or Momias or whatever it is that these things are? And I'm like, no, I wanted Momi. So I can just click back here on Momi, and then it knows that that's what I meant, right? Because when you're writing things that are weird, you need to tell it how. Okay, so say I wrote all these things, right? Now, what if I can just have a note that I say, oh, someone told me read this book. I can say, oh, the schedule for this place is open at 2 on Tuesdays, whatever kind of note I'm trying to make, or I can make it into an actual list. I can go back and select all of this, or from now on, had I thought of it earlier, I could click on this little guy here that has a check mark. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to click on that check mark. And now I'm going to make my list be a check marker list. So I'm going to buy burgers. And then I'm going to hit return, and another note will be, I'm going to get, I don't know, tomatoes. And see how I wrote Yomatoes?
Hmm.
So what's going to happen right now? If I hit return, is it going to say it's yellow? The computer is highlighting me as yellow, telling me there's a mistake here, but I'm not paying attention. I keep on writing. What's going to happen when I hit return?
Is it going to auto-correct?
It's going to autocorrect to this middle one.
Yeah.
The most logical one that the computer thinks I might want. So it's that one. And so when I hit return, I now I have tomatoes in there. Okay. So now I can check when I'm done buying it. I can go back and I go, I got the tomatoes, I got the burgers. See, I can touch that little, thing, and I can say, so I can turn these into that. Yeah, I can click in front of the first one, give it a little double click, tap with your finger. It selects, and then I can grab this little bottom. So I double clicked on the word milk. Now I can grab this little guy here with my finger and drag it down to select everything. And now I can click on this to make it all into a list.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now I can say, oh, sure, I got the apples, I got the milk, and the milk. And I got the bread and the yogurt, but I forgot to get the apples or something like that. I didn't buy Momi.
Diana,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just downloaded a notes on my Android, and it's connected with my email account. So that
Mhm.
means I can save an important email as you had in your notes.
Yeah, but in the Android, the Notes is a different app. So yes, I mean, when you can always turn an email into a note, or a note into an email, or something like that. So say that I'm not sure right now how the Notes app, I mean, there's so many Notes apps in the world. If you go to the App Store, there's bazillions of note apps, and they all have some peculiarities. So I'm just explaining how this one works, but I'm assuming it's similar.
Mhm.
Let me say that I want to email this shopping list to my husband now. So say that we all are going to test emailing something to someone, email it to yourself, even just for this test. So here's how you would do that. So when you're done and you finished your list, you can go over here and say that maybe you haven't shopped yet. So you click on those things again, and you just are sending them back because you're like, no, you haven't shopped yet, right? Or you want to get rid of the space, by the way, you can click in there and hit the little backspace to get rid of it. And so here's your shopping list, right? And you want to send it to someone. So if you're done with it, like here, you can still put it, make it into a table. You can change its font size. You can add pictures in here. Like sometimes when I send my husband to shop, he has no idea what I'm asking for. So I'm going to click on this little guy here, which is a camera, and I'm going to take a photo of here. This is what I want you to buy. I'll take a picture, right?
Ah,
And I can say use photo down here. I'll use that photo. And so now I'm even showing him what it is that I want him to buy, right? For example, or I use it for when I want to remember myself something. So there you go. This note comes with photo, right? You can you can have colors, you can make little drawings. The other day I was trying to explain something to my husband and he couldn't see it. I was trying to like visualize it. I always had I'm the kind of person that to explain something that I need to build, I have to have a notepad where I just draw it. Well, I picked on this little pencil right there. There's a pencil and I grabbed this marker and I chose, I don't know, this size. And then I just went in here and I made a little squiggle that I showed him what it is that I was trying to do. So that squiggle is part of my note now, right? So there's so much stuff you can do with notes. And now I'm done. I'm just gonna go over here where I'm done and done, right? So I finished with this note. I'm done with it. I can now say, okay, I need to send this to someone to shop for these things, right? So up here, see these little 3 dots? Okay, so I'm going to click on those little 3 dots. Is everyone following me? Are you kind of, and all you need is to have one thing written on this. I don't care if you did photos, if you did squiggles, just one thing that's written, and then let's
Well, I have all,
send
the-
it.
yeah, Deanna, I have the 3 dots up there,
Mhm.
but I don't have all those icons that you just went through
Okay,
right now. Photos and all those don't appear on my notepad.
They do if you click and begin to write, to start writing something, then these choices appear as to how to do things. Okay, that's when you're actively creating the note, you have those choices.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's when you're creating the note, but then you're done with it. And so you go up here and you say done, right? So then you're kind of like, okay, this is my note. So then go click on this little 3 dots because you're about to send it to someone. And I'm going to move this up here so you can see it a little bit better. So the note is in the background, and then you can do even more with notes. You can scan something now. I can scan a document if I need to, stuff like that. This is important, pin it when it's a really important note. Like basically I photographed my vaccination card and I made a note, put it in a note, and I pinned it. So now it's at the top because when I was traveling in New York, you can't go anywhere without showing your vaccination card. You can't enter a restaurant. You can't enter a store. You can't enter a museum without showing your vaccination card. So I have it pinned to the top. And the other day I went to college. I went to the college on campus. And as soon as you walk in, you have to show your vaccination card. So it's pinned. So it's at the very top of all my notes. I don't have to search for it. I can just show my vaccination card. So there's so many examples. Or I constantly get from students how to get to the Zoom IT support. So, and I have pinned the note that has the information for the Zoom IT support, because I'll be wherever I am, a student asks me, I'll just be able to email them the info, right? There's a bazillion reasons of why to use notes. Those are examples of my important notes. Okay. If this had passwords or stuff, I could lock it and put a password on it and stuff like that. I could delete it. I could do other stuff. Now, what I want to do is I want to send it to someone. I want to send it to myself, right? Say, because I don't want to be bugging people with sample notes, but you guys can send it to your husband or to a friend who knows that you're playing around, or send it to yourself. So I'm going to share note. The word share is the key to when you want to email or message or text or, somehow, make a Facebook post out of it or stuff like that. Share is when it's leaving your clutches and moving on to someone else, is the word share. Okay. So everything I'm teaching you right now in the app notes applies to every single app on a phone or on a computer. Okay. So this isn't about the Notes app and you're like, I'll never use Notes, so I'm going to blank out. No, I'm teaching you how to operate apps on a phone and on a computer. So no matter which app, when you're ready to send something, you'll have to click on the word share. It'll say shared note or share letter or share contact or share whatever. Has someone ever said, talk to Heidi about this, and they go, I don't have Heidi's information. Oh, let me share the contact. So you go to your contacts app, you pull up the app and you share contact, and boom, they get Heidi's information, right? So it's always share. By the way, I can also here under move note, I could now send it to a different folder if I put it in the wrong folder or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going to
Yeah.
share it. So let's click on share note. Yes, someone asked something. Everyone
Hi.
share your note. Hi, Marcia.
Hi, so sorry. Somehow I got lost to how you got to the current screen that you're on with notes.
Oh, I just, I wrote a note, right?
Yeah,
And
yep.
this is just any old note. And then up here, those three little dots.
Oh, the dots. Sorry. Okay, got it.
That's fine, but that's also something, it'll be in all the apps. The three
Yeah.
little dots are basically mean more,
Yep.
right? More
Right.
options. That's what three little dots mean. So
Thank you.
under any app, you saw it in the Zoom app when at the very bottom of all the app icons, we have all the different, emoticons or whatever. And the last one is a little three dots. The three dots in Computerese means more. There's more here. Click on me here for more. So when you see three dots, that means more. So click on those three dots and you get to this place. Now let's hit share note. And it tells you, well, how do you want to share this note? Do you want to send a message, which is a text to someone? Sure, I'll text it to my husband. It's a shopping list. Or do you want to make it, send an email, share this note as an email to someone? Do you want to post it on Instagram? Whatever apps you have here, do you want to put it on your Google Drive? Do you want to what, and then, or again, three dots or more options, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mail it, for example, or text it. I don't care, but you just do one of these. Okay. So I'm going to actually mail it. So let's hit mail. Let's all mail ourselves, or let's say as if we were to be mailing this to someone to shop for you or whatever. Maybe you just took down the sizes of your window and you're sending it to someone who's out there buying curtains. I don't know, like begin to expand as to whatever it is that you need. And so here you just write to whoever it is. And I'm going to actually say that it's actually going to be it's my pipeline account to myself. So I'm going to send it to myself again, DE Musakio, to my own pipeline account. So I just start writing it and there it is. So I'm sending it from my pipeline account to my pipeline account. So in this from, and we haven't talked accounts yet, but if you have a choice of from that, if you click on this and there's a choice, those are different emails you could be sending this from. You could be, it's a work note or it's a personal note or it's a, you have different accounts that you work with. I don't know. Right now, I'm not going to get into accounts. We will over the next 1, 2, and 3, we'll be dealing with these accounts. Right now, all that matters, put your own email there to send it to yourself because it's a test here. And then here we go. We say send. Okay. And by the way, what you're sending here is a note. So the other person will be able to open it in their notes. Okay. You're not sending an email as an email. You're sending a note. Does that make sense? If you want to send an email that just has the information, you would have to have select all, paste, copy, and paste it into an email. But you are sending a note. You're sharing this note with this other person. Okay. So now go ahead, here's where our example kind of crushes a little bit, because unless you have someone in your room right now in your home that you can send it to who has an iPhone who can open it and you can see the result, then you'll see that they can open that. So anyway, so let's send it. Click on that little arrow there, and that's it. It's gone. It's been
Wait.
sent.
Click on which arrow? Oh, the arrow.
The big arrow on the top. That's like go.
Yeah.
Send.
Yeah, so Deanna, under CC, that's all I have. I didn't have all those other letters that you have.
Can
in
you turn
yours.
your app around so I can see what your, show it, put it on the phone? Under CC,
That's-
in the, you're still in the mail. That's if you don't have other.
I was gonna email
CC
it to my
Under
husband.
CC, so C would be if you copy it to someone else. That's fine. Just send it to your husband.
And then under CC, do I need to put my?
No, CC
my
would be if
address
you, no,
so he
no,
knows to
under,
find it?
under 2, you put who you want to send it to, and he will know it's from you because it's coming from your phone. It already has it. It's automatically in there. So all you need to put is 2 and your husband. That's it. You don't
Oh,
need to,
okay.
you don't need to do
Right.
anything else. That's it. Just 2
Okay.
who it is and then send.
Then
That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
fine.
So, now I am gonna go to my email since I sent it to myself and I'm
Couldn't
going to check
connect,
for it.
says.
What's
Couldn't
that?
connect. Says couldn't connect.
Yep.
Hit
Same
send.
You said it couldn't connect.
Yeah, that's what it says.
I raise it up a little bit more so I can see what you're saying. You're saying no. And can you, no, don't just say couldn't connect. Read everything that says in there. It says more than couldn't connect. What
It
does it
says
say?
there may be a problem with the server. Please try again later.
Okay. And you typed it correctly and Jeannie's saying the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
can
Do
go
you
back.
have in your cloud?
How to go back. Hmm?
I've
I've
tried to
pressed
send it to
OK.
yourself. I don't know. I don't know what that problem can be. There's a problem with the server. Couldn't connect.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you send it to yourself, Jeannie,
I did.
or to someone?
I sent it to myself and it could just said the exact same thing. And now it's disappeared. So
So I'm wondering if when you go to your settings, whether you have your notes turned off or something like that. I don't know. I'm wondering, let's go into settings now. Anyway, the rest of you guys go to your email and I'm going to go to my email and here it is. My first email is from me testing how to send a note. And then it's telling me open my shared note. So if this were your husband, your friend, your son, the person, you know, who's fixing your windows that you sent this to, they could click on that and they could then click on this and it would open in their notes app and they would see your note. Okay, that's for, so now I'm going to click on it if this were for me and it's going to take me to my note there. But the thing is that I have shared it now with someone. Notice that now there's something new on top of my note, which is this little icon right there. And if I click on that, it tells me the 2 people who can see this note, myself and myself another account, or if you send it to your husband or if you send it to other people, you could add. So a shopping list can be shared amongst 4 or 5 people so that anyone who notices that there's milk missing can add milk to it. Or if anyone has bought milk can click on the button saying, no, I already bought milk. And you know what I mean? That's an example of a shared note when you send it that way. All right. Now, for the people for whom the note didn't work, all I can think of is go into the settings and let's see if somehow you have something set up on your settings that is not. By the way, there's an update on the iOS that came out last night. And if your phone was connected to the computer, to the wall charging, you never even noticed, but your phone updated. My regular phone did update. This one that's a school phone is not connected. And so it's basically saying you need to set up. So if you have this on, it's because an update showed up last night. Did you all have a message last night saying your phone will update when it's connected? So if so, it
no,
updated, and if not, it's there. Anyway, so go down to your notes and let's see if you have some settings here that are not. Okay, so here, by the way, oh, where did you go, Sarah? There we go. Someone moved around and then your box moved to a different place. Here you go.
Sorry.
In my screen, no, it's not you at all. Someone else turned their video on or off, who knows, but you were there for me and now you're there for me. So I was
Uh-oh.
like, where did you go? Everyone shift. It's like in a classroom, everyone's always in the same place. But in my
Right.
little grid, people shift around depending on if someone turns on their camera, turns off their camera. So I'm like, wait, I was talking to you there. No, I'm talking to you up there. Okay, so remember that on your computer, I said there's an on my Mac where your note stays only on your Mac. So
Yeah.
here you could have an on my phone account. And if so, that stays only on your phone and it doesn't go to your cloud, thus it doesn't go down to your Mac. Okay, so if this is off, then all your notes happen only on the cloud. And I turn
Okay.
mine off because I don't want to have that confusion. If I want a note in my phone, it's because I know I'll want it when I get to my computer. And when I want it put in my computer, I want it to be on my phone. So I don't know, is there something here, you guys, that you see different for the two from whom it didn't work, Charmaine or Jeannie?
I never
Um,
got to settings.
Accounts.
You don't know how, did you say how to get to settings? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay, well, go to your main homepage, and if you don't see the settings there, then put your finger in the middle of the screen and pull down, and in the search, write the word settings, and then it'll come up.
oh, I see settings here, yeah.
And then inside of settings, scroll your way down from the main page of settings until you see the notes, which is, I don't know, quite a bit down for me, but just until you see notes. right
Yeah.
there. Click on that. And that'll kind of see if the settings are different. Now, whether the notes are turned on in the iCloud or not, and understand there's two places where notes is going to appear here in the settings. One, where you're just trying to deal with the app. You're telling the app what to do. So you're telling the app,
Okay, so I'm in
To-
notes now. Uh-huh.
right? So one is telling your app what you want it to do. You want it to be searchable, what language you want it to be in. I have notes in 3 different accounts of mine, as you can see in here. It's 3 different accounts that have notes. If I want to password my notes, whatever you want to do, this is about the app. But I'm going to click here on the settings to go back out. The other place where I'll see notes is in my actual iCloud account. So that was what the app is supposed to do on my phone. That's what we just visited. But then I back out and I go into my iCloud account, which is the one with my name at the very top. Click on your name at the very top. And then I go into my iCloud account. And there I see whether if my notes are turned on or off so that they do or not head up to the cloud and then from the cloud down to my computer, if my computer also has a check mark. So this is
Okay.
how the notes behaves on the cloud. Okay, guys, so in your settings, you'll find what apps do in the cloud. Do they connect or not to other places? And then
Where-
the general place where is how does the app itself work? Do we want it to remember things, not remember things, stuff like that? Okay, so one is how the app works and one is how the iCloud works with all my apps. Can you guys distinguish what I'm talking about? The app
No.
itself versus what the iCloud does to the apps. And I know, Charmaine, you missed a little bit, the whole beginning where we did a lot of conversation about this. So please review the recording of the first 15 minutes of this class before you showed up, because you'll understand, or a half hour, I don't know. It's been a while. Look, what time is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been around for a bit, because I explained the basics of what I'm talking about right now. We started with that explanation before, which is basically what does the iCloud do with all the information in my apps, right? And this here tells us to send it or not to each computer, period. But backwards. So if you still, Jeannie and Charmaine, have this question of something is not, what was it, setting, I don't remember your message, not connecting or something like that.
Yeah, not.
One of you guys might want to try calling Apple and say, what's this all about? Or, or tell me, actually, here, let me just show you what I would do first. I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to Google the question. So what was the notes on the Mac iOS? What did it say? Cannot connect. What was it?
Well, I'm not there now, so.
Something about the server. Couldn't
The
connect.
server couldn't connect.
Yeah,
Server can't connect or something like that. See, what you want is to have the message and turn off Notes iCloud Sync and turn it on again. Okay, so one way to fix it, open the iPhone settings app, your name, top iCloud, toggle off notes. Now restart your phone and then turn it on again and everything should resync. Okay, well, there you go. That's one solution. How do I fix connection to server failed on the Mac? Okay, so that, why is notes not, couldn't connect? There may be a problem. You have to look at the date, right? It has to be near enough. How to fix iCloud notes are not syncing. Check your internet connection, sync notes on the phone. Disable local storage of notes, which is what I just told you to not have the apps. Okay, so basically it would seem that what you guys need to do, according to this, is, let me share the app again. Share my phone. And again, the reason I'm paying attention to this is I've seen that message before. And you might, yeah, someone else, if you didn't come across it this time, you might come across it next time. So basically what this thing is saying is to go to your settings. Okay, so this is for Jeannie and for Charmaine and for everyone else who might have this happen later. Sorry, Charmaine. I know yours is Charmaine, my friend Charmaine. I'll get there. So you click on your name and you go to your iCloud. And what it's saying is disconnect. So turn this off. Okay. And it'll say
Okay.
delete from my phone. Go ahead and say yes. The stuff will still be up in the notes. Say delete from your phone. I'm not going to do that right now. And then turn it on again. And no, restart your phone. Then
I'm
it
sorry,
said,
there was a completely different icon that came up about, I mean, not icon, but a screen that came up saying that there were changes and conditions, new cloud term conditions.
well, that's because we just updated to a new, yeah. That's because you just updated to a no. So you have to say yes to that. That's the iCloud has changed.
Oh.
When you get an update, there's a service thing. And when you haven't done it yet, you have to first approve it, say yes, put in your password, and then you'll be able to continue. So turn off your notes,
I just put don't
turn
allow.
off your phone, then restart the phone and then turn on your notes and then try to send the notes. Okay, that's a way to, by the way, the solution to so many things in the world of computers is always to restart your computer. Like if something is really not working, same with your phone. If your phone, something is really not working, many times reset, but complete power down and power up, which is something we don't
Okay.
do with our phones much. It goes to sleep, but we don't turn it up. Okay, put it, it's,
This
yeah,
is
you
where,
have, yeah, you
yeah.
probably have to agree or something like that, right? It's telling you a new,
yeah, but I put don't allow because I didn't know you were in the middle of talking.
oh,
So it
well,
took that
so what does
off.
it say now? So what does it say now?
So now it's got terms and conditions written down lower.
Well,
And to
keep-
use iCloud on this phone, you must accept the new terms and conditions.
yeah. So you have to say yes, agree.
Go back to terms and conditions.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. Usually the agree is at the bottom.
Oh, I see now, agree.
Mhm.
Now agree. Okay. Okay,
And
so
then,
I
and
hit
then
the
it'll
agree.
put your, then it'll ask you for your password again or stuff like that. And then it'll let you in. Okay, so you guys heard me. Turn it off.
Password.
Disconnect notes. Turn your phone off. Turn your phone on again and then connect to notes and then try to send. Right now, I'm
I
going
don't put the
to,
password in.
yeah, if it asks you for the password, put your password in. Yeah, I don't know what it's asking you to do.
Oh, that's just one of the options there. Okay, now is that the
It-
password to my email or what is that?
It's to your iCloud. It's your password to you because your iCloud has updated and it's telling you, please accept the new terms and conditions.
Right,
Technically, you should read them all and agree with them, but I'm just telling you to just write agree because I'm just saying that, but you probably should have read it all to make sure you still agree. I never do. I just agree because I keep working with it.
I've never used iCloud, so I probably don't have a password.
Yes, your phone is set up with iCloud, so it has a password and that I can never imagine what your password is. So I can't do that. So when you went to the computer last week, when I showed you how to go to iCloud.com, did you have to type in a password?
Okay, I don't remember that.
All right, so last week and now everyone else, by the way, I'm going to lead you back to iCloud.com. So in order to, this was what I was going to go next and it's perfect for her question. because now I want you guys to go see if, so I'm opening Safari. Okay. I want to go see your notes in Safari because I want to complete the whole system. Oh, first of all, I'm sorry, before you see Safari, let me reshare. Go ahead and go to your notes on your phone, on your Mac. I'm sorry, go to your notes on your Mac and go see, here's SBCC, and see if, here it is, testing how to make a note. I made this on my phone, remember you guys? And here's my note. Because of the cloud, it's on my note. Does that make sense, you guys? Did it work? Do you guys see it on your computer now? Maybe except for, I don't know, Charmaine, probably not if you don't have your iCloud set up, but does everyone else see it on their Mac? Now, Patricia, I don't know if you're making your note, if it's appearing, if you have it to set up to appear on your computer, the app that you made, do you have it connected to your computer or something? I don't know what note you have, what app you have for your phone.
I don't think Android communicates with the computer. Only by email, yeah.
You saw there that I had notes for my pipeline account. My pipeline account is a Gmail. So if
Oh,
your
okay.
notes, if you make your notes in a Gmail, they should show up. It
Show
should
up in
do
the-
that, but I don't know about whatever app you made, if it's just for your phone. Individual apps that are just basic company apps, they don't necessarily fit into the big Google Cloud or Cloud Notes, iCloud and stuff like that. They're just another company making another notes app. And what they tend to do is they might have at most a server online where you can go see your note online. And so you probably can find that same note on some online browser. So, so if you all found your note, Charmaine, did you?
Don't have my computer set up for iCloud, do we?
Oh, wait, but Charmaine, that's true. You were the person who said that you didn't have your iCloud set up. I'm thinking
Yeah,
because your husband didn't like it.
But then
Okay.
my husband right now said he thought we did, but I don't know. Can we check on that?
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I remember now that you said yesterday that, hi, Charmaine's
Hi
husband.
there.
How are you?
Hi.
I remember now that you said that you didn't have the iCloud connected because of concerns your husband's had. So of course now it's like, duh, that's why it's not working. I forgot that. You need to remind me. So if you want these to work, it needs to be connected, and you can just watch the parts where, if you don't want it to be connected, I'm not saying you have to connect. It's just, if you want to test out the system, it needs to be connected or it doesn't work. So your computer has to have your Apple ID in it, and
Okay,
your phone
so-
has to have your Apple ID in it. And that way we can make your computer and your phone or your iPad talk. Okay.
Okay, well, now it says iCloud and I don't know why.
Okay, just let her. Okay.
So maybe what we can do, Charmaine, at the end of class, if your husband's still around, we can spend some minutes and I can try to help you set up your system. I don't want to, slow the
That
whole
sounds good.
class down.
Thank
So
you.
maybe I can give you a hand then, and this time just do as much as you can and then watch. But when it doesn't work because the iCloud's not on, then just know that once we set up your computer and your phone, it'll work, but I can't hold down the whole class
Understand.
right now. Does that make sense?
Great. All right,
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Thank
Mhm.
you. All right. So guys, go to your computer now. Charmaine, do you have your computer in front of you? Open up
Yeah.
your notes in your computer and make a note right there. And then later, when we connect your apps to the cloud, you will see that what you made in your computer will show up on your phone, and what you made up on your phone will show up in your computer. Okay. But right now they're disconnected. So go make a note in your Mac.
That's
and-
not, it's
and
not doing it either right now.
when you open up your notes app, you should be able to make a note. It's got nothing to do with the cloud. So,
Yeah. It's frozen. I don't know.
well, so
Uh-huh.
when you open up your notes, guys, how you make a new note in your computer now to then see if it shows up on the phone, you can, if you have folders, select the folder, and then when you make a new note, it's already in that folder. But if you don't, and all you have is all iCloud, then that's fine. you'll find that once you have more than 10 or 15 or 20 notes, you begin to want to organize them, right? And that's when you'll make a folder. So maybe you have 100 notes and you've never made a folder, you might want to. So let me show you how to make a folder. So here on this little side tab, which you will see, if you don't see it, you have to, if you're not seeing a side tab, if you're only seeing, you know, the note here on the left, then go up to view, show folders. And then here at the bottom of the folders, make a new folder and call it, I don't know, recipes. I go to parties, to events, and people have something awesome and I ask them for the recipe. I don't know, I have a recipes folder over there, for example, right? But anyway, I don't know, make a note, you know, financial or miscellaneous or design or school. So make a school, schoolwork or whatever, SBCC, make a new folder for something. Okay, so call it, I'm going to call it test because I have so many folders. I don't know. And then what you can do is go back to the all iCloud where you have all your notes. And what you need to do is you need to start grabbing and putting in there the notes that matter to you. Now, again, this is something I wasn't technically usually going to teach at this point. But I find that knowing how to handle information between the cloud has to be given with an example. And since today the question was about notes and I use notes so much, I think it's a very appropriate way to ask it. So here's my vaccination card, by the way, that I told you that I have pinned. So what does that mean? That even though I have 1,400 notes, I wanted this one to be at the top. So I right clicked and I pinned my note. And so now there it is. Whenever someone asks me for my note, it's at the very top. I don't have to scroll down to 100 to go to health or whatever, right? It's there. And the same thing with people ask me student tech support all the time. So I have these notes here so I can just save it and, you know, and I have a to-do list in there that I update now and then. So I just have certain things up in the top.
And that's great information for me because I've been starting my notes that I wanted at the top with A or AA. So, because I didn't know about the pin. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And then organizing them helps, right? But then what she just said about AA is about having them pop in as alphabetical order. But what I find is that they show up by date, not by alphabetical order normally. So if I scroll all the way down to, if I'm in my all notes and I scroll way down, like this one here is from 09. Okay, like my first note is from that I made before the iCloud existed. I was using notes from the very beginning. So when I first got a phone, and here's some flowered notes. Someone had told me about some flowers that I thought I might like, or so I was like, you know, redesigning the house and et cetera, et cetera. I can't even, that's how old my notes are. And of course, if I had time to come back, my kids were into Pokemon. And so I was figuring out ideas for Pokemon parties. That's like 2010. Do I need this anymore? No. Should I come here and do some cleaning of the Pokemon party ideas for 11 years ago? I probably should. So what I'm going to do is I don't want it anymore. So I can right click. I don't need this guy anymore, or I can slip to the right and I can just delete that note, right? So yeah, there's a place for it going down and cleaning up stuff like you would at home. So here I have different things that I could use for a hedge. Do I need it anymore? No, delete, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I have 1,400 because I've had them forever and I have never clean it, right? So anyway, oh, looks like in 2011, I went to New Orleans and someone gave me ideas of where to go and I made a list of ideas of where to go. Do I need that again? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a list I want to keep, but maybe not. So then I have a thing called trip prep here and I have things for trips, and see how it's in that folder. It says your trip prep. I guess I decided to leave that one in there. Okay. So anyway, just showing you the kind of things that I do with notes. All right.
Diana, excuse me, are we supposed to have our own screen up while you're doing this?
You're supposed to do whatever it is that you choose to do. Some people just watch and learn. And I believe that the best thing is to, you have the same thing up and try to do the same thing. And then that's the best, I think hands-on is best way to learn. So your choice.
And
If-
how do we do that? How do I share the screen with you?
No, you can't share the screen with me.
I mean, but
You
how,
have to see your own screen. You can't share it. You have to do it yourself in your own computer.
right?
You,
and how
you
do I-
wouldn't be, you
how
open
do-
up the Notes app in your computer. So go down to your dock
Oh, I
and
see.
see if you have the Notes app and open it up and make
Okay.
notes in there. So I'm gonna reshare my entire window now. And down here in this dock, you could see this little Notes app. If you see it, click on it.
I do, yeah.
Then Notes opens up. But if you don't see it here, then the way for everyone to find things that they don't see is to go up at the top right to the spotlight, right? And the spotlight search comes up, and then you go Notes, and then it'll tell you how to open it up. So one way or the other, you get to Notes, okay? Now,
Mhm.
everyone here, let's make a note that we'll see how it pops in on the phone. So choose somewhere. So I'm going to choose SBCC again if you have folders. And if you don't have folders, then you only have the all iCloud, right? So I'm going to put in SBCC folder. Hopefully you made a new folder. Maybe you made an SBCC folder, or you called it Mac class or home, or I don't know. And then here we go. The same little icon, the new create a note, and then call this one testing notes made on my Mac, as opposed to the other one. Oh, not framed, made on my Mac. And then here you can do the same thing. You can choose to make it a list. You can make it a cloud. You can make it bigger, smaller, but I'm just going to go ahead and said this was created on my computer, and now I will go look for it on my phone. Okay. And so once it's been made at 10:16 a.m., now I'm going to open my phone, and let's see how quickly or not it appears on my phone. So I am sharing my phone right now. And here's my phone popping up, and oh, look there, it's already ready. Okay, I went into my folders and just all iCloud, because it's part of all iCloud too. And it's my first note that pops it after my pinned ones. These are my pinned ones. And then right at the top of my pinned ones. Now, if you don't have anything pinned, then it'll be the first thing that shows up at the top. So here's the first one, and there it is. Testing notes made on my Mac. Let's create my computer. Now I will go look for it on my phone. Okay. So the note that I just made just appeared on my phone. Because it's also already in the right place, I don't find it only on my iCloud. I also find it in, if I go down to the SBCC folder, because that's now this is only the SBCC files, and there it is. I have these 4 things are my pinned SBCC folders, the ones that people ask me for all the time. And now I have testing notes made on my Mac, and that's the first one. And the second one is testing how to make a note. This is the one that we made on the phone. So I might even go in there and edit it on my phone. So this one, testing how to make a note on my phone, was the first one, and then I can hit done. So you saw how easy is it to edit it, right? I just click on it and just keep writing. I want to change this milk into, I don't know, flour. And the second milk, I'll just delete it and I'll turn it into rice. Oh, total wrong typing there. I'm looking at rice. And then I'll hit done. So here's my note. And if I go look at my computer note right now, you'll see that this doesn't say milk, milk, milk anymore. Now, if I go to this note on my computer, it now says milk, flour, and rice, right? And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to share my computer. Look how quickly I'm sharing my computer, and that it is already. It says now milk, flour, and rice instead of milk, milk, milk. Okay, so it's pretty much see how it just sends itself. It's called push. The computer and the phone push their information up onto the cloud, which then pushes it down to your other devices. So test that. Go ahead and write something new on your note and go see that it's been corrected, or add something to your list, and then go see it on the other phone, and then on your phone, add something or correct something and go see it on your computer. Okay. And then tell me how it's going. Is it working? Is it not working? Does it go back and forth? Everyone except for Charmaine, who it's not working for you because you don't have the system set up.
Oh,
But for everyone else, or from Patricia, have you found out what browser maybe you can go see your note appear on the cloud corrected? Like your app that you downloaded on your Android? If it's a good app like Everready or Evernote, there's apps like that, Evernote or things like that, that send themselves to the cloud, also to their own cloud. And you can go into that cloud, like to the Evernote cloud, and you'll see it on your computer, your Evernote account. If it's just a solely phone-based app, then it stays on your phone. And the only problem I have with those kind of apps is that if you lose your phone, you lose your notes, and that would be devastating for me. So I like apps that save themselves somewhere, so that if my phone gets lost, or if I change my phone to another phone, that the stuff works. Okay. Oh, yay, Vera put her vaccination on the notes, and now you have it set up for whenever you start. Guys, when you start coming back to school, the spring classes at this point are supposed to go on school. If you're in any of the other classes that that are already happening, like, you know, ceramics, things that are happening already at school, you need to show your vaccination card all the time. You don't need to carry around the actual vaccination card. That when I leave home, all you need to do is carry a photo of it pinned to your notes, for example. Anyway, that'll save you from and I figured this out in New York, I'm telling you, because I had to show it everywhere. And I'm like, this is crazy. I would go back to my photos and scroll down where I leave the photo of my vaccination card. And it's every day farther because I kept taking photos. And I went, wait a minute, I can put this on my notes, right? And just have it pinned and ready to go. So if push comes to shove that you need to show your vaccination card to go into places here, which you do if you go to campus, that's a solution. But anything you want to access all the time, that you really, really need all the time, or in the moment you need, because you're in the middle of a project, you're remodeling your kitchen. Well, in that moment, it's so important to know numbers of colors of test tiles and stuff. When you're done remodeling your kitchen, you don't need that pinned anymore. You're done. Either you throw it away or you unpin it and it stays there as a memory, because later when a tile breaks, you want to know what color it was or something. Well, you have the information there in the notes. I have remodeled my house and I still have over here info of, you know, what brand, what name, who helped me, or all these things, so that I can go back to it when I need something. All right. That's it for notes, but the whole point wasn't notes per se. It was a really hands-on demonstration of what the cloud does, okay? And why we do or not want the cloud turned on. Now, you can choose to not have it turned on. This is not something you want, which is fine. The pro and the con are, the pro is ease of, you know, no matter what device you have, the information is the same. And the main pro to me is that if your computer breaks down, like I was fearing this morning, if your phone breaks down, something like that, you don't lose the stuff because it's in the cloud. You buy a new device, you put in your same Apple ID, your notes are there on your phone again. Those are the pros. The negatives, I personally don't see any con, because there are negatives to things like photos and videos, which is they are so big, the negative is you need to buy more space. And so it's financially more costly, but notes are just text. They don't take up much space. Now, if your notes are lots of photos, well, then photos take up space, right? So be careful with that portion of it, because if you take photos and make notes of them all the time, say you're remodeling something, you go to a design store and you take pictures of 5 things that you want to show to your husband to see if he likes the patterns on the fabric or whatever, and he didn't come with you, and so you take photos of him, you show them from your photos app, but for any reason you put them in a note to send it to the person who's going to be doing your contractor or something like that. When you're done with it, you might decide that if it has a lot of photos, that might be, if you do hundreds of those, then you're beginning to take a lot of space with your notes. But if you have photos here and there, and it's mainly text or things like that, or links to a website that's have information you need, links, then you can have thousands of notes and they don't take up much space. Okay, so I don't see the cons in this case. I see the cons of having your photos connected. If you have so many that you have to pay more, then it's a financial con. Notes, I don't see why not have it on, because my whole point is I want my information that I want to be able to pick it up when I'm outside of my house, it's on my phone, and when I'm in my house, it's on my computer. I don't see why not having it on. If anyone has any idea of why it's good or bad and wants to give me another point of view, I'm always trying to find different ideas and points of view, because it's valid. You have a concern and I might not have thought of it. Then let me know. Okay. And I'd love to share it with people whenever I talk about the cons, but I think the notes have replaced, I don't know about you guys, but I used to be someone who had Post-it notes everywhere, and Post-it notes fly off or die or, get lost in the pile of notes. But you can't sort through Post-it notes, right? But I'd come in my computer and I'd have these like Post-it notes, remember to do this, remember to do that. I'm just talking eons ago. As you can see, as of 2009, when I adopted this notes, it's become my best friend. All right. Because a lot of these things in the past, if it was important enough, you'd make an actual Word file with things for the designer and things like that. You'd actually create a letter, that kind of stuff we don't need to make files for anymore. There's much less need for things that are inconsequential, right? All you need is a little note. And on a Windows machine, those of you who are Windows people, there's a thing called Notepad, right? And you could do it there too, connect it to your, but they stay in Windows. Okay. All right. Let me see. How are we doing with time? I'm looking at
10:30.
10:30. So maybe it's before I start with something else. Maybe
10:20.
it's a good time for a break. I was going to give a break in a few minutes. So why don't see if we've completed the subject unless out. Okay, there went my coffee. Fortunately, it's in a sealed container. I'll pick it up in a minute. Yeah, it's in a little cup.
Sorry, 10:26.
Yeah, so let's do a 15-minute break and we'll be back for part B. So what time is it? 10:27. So be back by, let's assume it's 10:30, 10:45 minus 2 minutes, 10:43. 43 a.m. Be back by 10:43 a.m. Be 10:43 a.m. Bye. Oh, well, you understood. All right.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Mm.
Hi, guys. So I was looking for some articles that would be well explained and useful, and I found this one right here. And oh, there you go. Charmaine's not back, and Jeannie. But for anyone else from whom this happens, because it happens occasionally that you get something saying that the connection isn't working or something like that. And so I looked at a couple of articles during break, and this one here I found to be pretty good because it shows you step by step how to fix things with, with images. Let me share it right now with you guys. And of course, Charmaine, for whom I looked for it, isn't here, but never mind. So basically it's, what does it mean when it says that you cannot connect to the Apple ID or verification failed or stuff like that. And you always have to look at the date. And this one is from 2020. So it's already a bit older. And it talks about Catalina as the latest OS instead of Big Sur. But other than that, it's still good. And it shows you step by step what you need to do to get yourself reset and what different solutions you have and verification codes stuff. So it's very well explained. So anyway, and of course, it goes into all these worst case scenarios where it gives you many options of how to fix it. And hopefully yours is the lightweight fix will be enough. But if not, there's other options of what you need to do, or you call the Apple guys. Like if it's getting too technically complicated, it's better to just actually call Apple and say, I'm having an issue, my phone isn't connecting, and let's see what they say, because they run you through the different things that you can do to
Thank
get
you.
fixed. Okay, you're welcome. So anyway, there's the link in the chat. If you click on it right now while the chat is still live, it'll open up the article, and then you can just leave that article there. Lying there for you. Now that's been, I think Charmaine's issue is she just isn't connected, because I remember now at the end of the week, last class, she said that her husband didn't believe in it, and so it was disconnected. But other than that, it's different. So Charmaine, I just spent the last few minutes talking about something I researched for you, but you weren't here, so I explained it to everyone else. Now look in the chat, and there's a link. Click on that link, and it'll open up something, and then basically it's an article talking about how to fix Apple ID issues. Now, I don't know that you have Apple ID issues. I think you're just not connected. So I put it in there, click on it so that you can have it there as a resource after class. But Jeannie is connected, and she was having issues, so this one might apply more specifically to Jeannie. Okay. So I'm going to stop that share. And what I just did, you guys, I want you to be able to do. I know it's hard when you don't really understand much of what's happening, because you guys are new to all this and you're confused by all this, to look up at an article and know what to do. But if you specify, like if you copy down like the error message you get on things, for example, or you make a screenshot of what you're having, and then you put those words in a Google search. Many times other people have had most of the time, other people have come up with a problem, and you might find solutions there or ideas of what to do. And if they're really technical and full of technical highfalutin words, you're not going to understand it. But sometimes you'll find it's a typical problem, and there's some article or another written in a very clear fashion with lots of screenshots like this one is, that it might help you. So you can start doing research, and slowly you'll begin to understand the inner workings. When things happen that I don't know why, I have to learn it too. I mean, it's not like knowledge filters into my brain out of nowhere. I have to do these kind of things, and I research and I look up, and then I go, oh, that makes sense. And then when you guys ask me, I know what the solution is, right? Because it might not have been a problem I've ever had. But so then I have to research it. Now, since I'm a user of all these objects, I have problems too. And that's why, I look into what to do and how to fix it. And so do dare not to just kind of sit back and go, it's broken, but actually, usually there's a message saying something, and that message is important, because what that message says will lead you to an answer if you're able to type the same message you're getting onto a browser, and someone else probably has had that before. Worst case scenario, in the Apple support, on the Apple page, Apple support, there's communities. it's an Apple community, whereas when people go and ask questions about Apple issues. And in that, if you just look for the question that you have in that community, someone will come up with solutions. Okay, so this is for when you don't have a chance to actually talk to an Apple tech. So if you, I'm going to show you that really quickly because you guys are pretty new to this, and so you're not yet necessarily many times able to know how to fix things on your own or even to understand what's happening. But reading up on problems in a way helps. So if you just go to Apple, right? So I'm going to go to any browser, apple.com. Notice that in apple.com, there's always this little icon. And I put the spotlight on. There's this icon here that's called support, right? And this is just the Apple browser, Apple site. Click on support. And then if you say, what is it that's broken? Is it your Apple TV, your Apple iPad, whatever? So say it's your phone or whatever, and you click on the phone, right? You can, there's different questions or things that can happen. But one of the things that is at the bottom of all of this is like search for topics, have a question, ask the Apple support community. Okay. So if you head to the bottom, there's always the community. So let's head into that community. And let me just show you a little bit what that community is all about. So now this is only for iPhones, okay? Because I went to the iPhone community, but you can go to the Mac community, the other community. And so in the community of how to use the iPhone, there's basically iPhone hardware, iPhone accessories, other topics, whatever. So in here you can say, for example, it's a search, right? Not connecting to server or something like that. I think that was somewhat what the question was. So then I hit return and it says searching for similar questions. And so then it comes up with all the times that people ask things about cannot connect to server, and see how many people have asked that question before. And they filtered any question that said not connecting to server, 600 results found. So then you can start going, whoa, 10 years ago, that's certainly, Mac OS Lion, that's not going to help me. 1 year ago, 12 years ago. So there's like, how useful is it? So you can filter it by time. So you can say the last year, questions that happened in the last year. So now it would make a little bit more sense, right? And so now these are from a month ago, 3 days ago, 5 months ago, 10 months ago. That'll all probably apply to Catalina, or 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, what's the point of reading an answer that's 10 years old? It's going to be a different issue. So anyway, and then you say, okay, let me try how to fix not connected to server on the iPhone. That was 3 days ago. And over here, you can see how many people have seen it. I'm not saying that there's an answer on this one yet, but you can click on it and find out. And so how to fix not connected to server on the iPhone. And these are possible replies. And there's only one reply. It's like, hi, it's a community specialist answered. Welcome, we're happy to help with the issue you're having. Can you please explain if this or not, or check on this link? And they're sending you to the help page that tells you what to do if you can't connect to the App Store, iTunes, or other Apple services. And you look at that and you go, well, this isn't really an Apple service. This is the iCloud. So maybe this is not the right question, but maybe it is. So you might want to open that link and see, check the system status. This is to connect to these services. None of these is what was happening to you. So this question doesn't apply to you. This answer doesn't apply to you. See what I mean? So you go, okay, it might help, but some of the answers are the same ones. It's like update your server, check the time, check restart. Many of the solutions are the same, but it doesn't say that it's about the iCloud, right? So then you go, okay, let me go back. Maybe I have to add a different question, so then if your question was not connecting to server, maybe you also want to write the word iCloud in there, or you want to write the word notes, because that's where we came upon the problem, right? So then you say search, and to see if something came up for shared notes couldn't connect to server. Whoa, that's what happened to us. See, so you start kind of trying to figure out if there's a question. And so a year ago, someone says, I have some notes shared with my wife. When I try to share, it said there may be problems with it. Please try again. And that's kind of how you do it. So now and it was a year ago or 2 months ago, notes app not connecting. This is troublesome, couldn't connect. So you kind of look for answers. And so cannot share a note. So this sounds much more like the one that you were getting for a year ago. And so I don't know, let me click on this one of all. I've been trying to share a note with someone via messages. It says it couldn't connect. Please try again. I've signed it to the cloud. I've done it and it didn't work. Okay, so then you start having different share notes on iCloud, Apple support. If you read all the replies, and there's like tons of replies to this. And so there's many more answers or solutions. But in one of them, it's share notes to iCloud.com. Or it would be guess to get in touch with Apple support and use this link to connect to contact Apple support, right? So you basically use Apple communities when I'm not around or when someone else is not around to try to help yourself, because lots of people have had these questions. Okay, so once again, how do you get to this place? You go to apple.com, you click on support, or you even ask in this search, you might even ask, can connect to server notes, right? And then you click on there, and then you have questions of people who says, well, you read the questions and it cannot change the location. I forgot my note. So questions about notes. So this is just a general search on the general search thing. But if you go into the support communities, you'll have better answers. Okay. Now, this isn't just about this problem you guys had. It's about any problem you guys might be having on your phones, on your computers, on your go into the Apple communities. And if you want to ask your own question because you don't see the answer there on already answered things, then you need to sign in with your Apple ID, and then you get to actually ask your own question. But first search, because so many people might have had the same question, search for the answers already there. And if you really, really can't find the answer anywhere, then sign in. So say I go to the support, right? And I go all the way to the bottom and find where are my communities? Again, let's say it's on the Mac this time, right? And I want to search the support. Now I go notes not connecting to server. Although this was not on your map, I'm going to hit enter to search. And so it says couldn't connect. Can you resolve the issue? And then remember the dates. This is from 2021. And so it takes you to the discussion. So I'm going to click on it. And I was trying to show it. So no, it could be a problem with the server. How do I resolve the issue? And so here you go. Have you followed in this article? Da, 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 da. Welcome. Have you followed this in the radar? Da, 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 da. Sorry if it's obvious. Da, da, da. So you help yourself. And where are you? You're in the support communities for the iPhone. Click on the support communities. These are all the different support communities for all the different things. There's even more communities. There's specific communities that talk only about Apple ID or Apple Pay or professional applications or iCloud. There's just specific support communities about all of this. If you sign in, they'll ask you for your Apple ID. You ask your own questions. If not, if we sign in, you just read other people's questions and answers and try to figure out on your own. But if you're ready to say, well, I don't find in all of these thousands of questions, I don't find my answer, then you sign in and then you actually write a question and then you wait to see if you get answers. Okay. Useful? I can't hear, Charmaine, I see you talking, but your sound is off. During break, I mute everyone so that you can make as much noise as you want in your house.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It just seems very involved.
Yeah. Well, go to
Yeah.
apple.com support and ask your question and see if it's been answered. You don't always have a person like me to answer your question and you have to help yourself. This is not so complicated. Or call the phone Apple support and I need to talk to someone. So you got to learn somehow, somewhere, how to work your computer. And other than these classes, because when these 3 classes end, right? When I'm not around after this 2-3 months that we're going to be together, then this is the next best place, if you know what I mean, to ask your question and to see if someone has already answered. And so basically you're just typing in your question. So that part isn't involved. you're typing in a question without even signing in. You're just typing in your question, and you basically ask your question, and anyone who has already answered, you'll read, right? So that's all I'm asking you to do. I don't really see much in there. Many times you'll find the answer. Now, if the answer is very technical and you just don't understand what to do because the answer is too complicated, then as you saw at the very bottom, it says, well, then contact Apple support. You click Apple support, you call them, and hopefully then they can actually answer you on the phone. But the thing is that on the phone, sometimes even explaining your problem is hard, right? So you need to be able to share your screen. And so they'll do something like what I do, which is share your screen, stuff like that. I don't know what they do about phones. For computers, they ask you to share your screen and then they help you. But for phones, I don't know. Maybe there's a way to share your phone screen too with them. And I don't know. I've never had to ask for help for my phone. So I don't really know. Has anyone asked? Because I know that many of you guys have gone to Apple for support and it's really useful, but for your phones, has anyone ever had a question that you've had to have them share your screen? No. Plan B, you go, if you're in Santa Barbara or anywhere that has an Apple store, you go in and you head into the Mac Genius, you bring your phone with you, which you can't do if you have a desktop, but you can if you have a laptop or a phone, and say, hello, I need help. And they help you at the counter, that Mac Genius. Okay. So I just wanted to explain to you how to help you help yourself. I'm gonna say it. Help your own self. Hi, Bill. Nice to see you back. All right. So and learn, because when I come upon a problem that I don't know and I say I'm going to research it, guess what? Sometimes I Google the problem, but sometimes I just head into the Apple support community, because if it happens here, it's happened to someone else, and I'll just read the answers. And then I'll go, this one sounds good, this one, and I'll try it out. But if that's not my problem, I can't try it out. So then, but I'm learning. And the more you hear, the more things make sense, because then the second time you read, the third time you read, you go, oh, okay, so maybe this. So that's how I learn things about new things, is by going to the support communities, the Apple support communities, because that's where people complain about what isn't working. That's where people also say what the fixes are. That's where you learn a lot. If you don't have an Apple tech support to talk to every day, which we don't, then I learned from there, because tech support people are answering those questions, and people who already have the same problem say, oh, I fixed it this way. Oh, that's a great idea, thank you. And then you go and you do it. All right. What else? Okay, so I've spent a lot of time talking about notes today. We've done a lot of back and forth with the cloud, with how it works. So I'm going to give you guys a little cloud break for now, and remind you that if you haven't yet tried it, let me just, before I give you the cloud break, if you haven't yet done that, to head over to your system preferences, look at your cloud, figure out what you have on, what you have off, and then on your phone, figure what you have on, what you have off, and then test it. Write yourself a reminder, and you're like, I don't know what a reminder is. I've never used a reminder. Well, open the reminders app and check it out. See if it helps or not. Like, I will be teaching more of these apps as we go along in the third Apple level 2, Mac level 2 class. I talk about specific apps, but you can also give them a try. You go, I don't know, what is reminders? I don't know. So then go find and see if you see the same icon there, or go do a search in your Spotlight, write the word reminders, and the app reminders will pop up, and you'll go, what is this? Is it useful or is it not? Let me try it. And then you go, oh, I'd like to learn more about that. And then you go to the Apple help guides, and you read it, and you go, this sounds like it could be really useful for me. I'd like to learn it. And then you try it out. And then when I come on, you go, hey, I was trying this, I was trying that, and it wasn't working. And then I'll go, oh, well, da, 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 da. So if it doesn't apply to the class, I won't. But I love real questions, because Sarah's real question about notes led me into today's topic. I was going to use a different app instead of notes, but I got to do the same class I wanted to do using a real question from one of you guys. And I got the same message across, but using a different app. that applied to someone's questions. So when you guys try things out and have questions, I can use that to kind of give more meat to my class. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you testing things out and then asking me, because as much as I can, I'll try to incorporate it into the issue of the day. And if not, next time comes around, I'll go, remember, Sarah, when you asked me about notes? Well, here now, da, 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 da. But do use me. Don't, you know, for questions, but don't expect me to always answer in the moment. If it's completely not appropriate for the whole class, I won't. It needs to be appropriate for the moment. And if not, I'll give you an inkling of how to help yourself, or wait until I get to that in the class. Okay.
Diana,
See,
can you talk a little bit more about optimized Mac storage? Is that means what we have used and what we have available?
yes. So this I will talk about more when I head into the iCloud Drive,
Oh,
but
okay.
I want to explain a little bit more about iCloud Drive. So see, here's an example of, it's not the most appropriate moment right now. So I'll tell you when I'll speak about that. What's appropriate is to know that for this point in the class is that a lot of our computers now come with small hard drives, right? Especially iPad Airs, or, you know, smaller, not smaller in size, but the storage space that's in them. It used to be that storage disks were getting bigger and bigger. Storage is like basically how big your purse is, your filing cabinet is on your computer, the space to store stuff. But then a lot of people began to store less stuff on their computers. Like I said, instead of making a full-on Word file, now you make a note or something like that. So computers needed to store less things unless you're like actively working and or being a photographer, or there's things that take up a lot of space, right? So computers kind of backtracked to being sold with smaller and smaller hard drives. Many people, and I'd like to poll this class, many people use the computer to check for email, search the internet, watch movies, listen to music, stuff like that. None of that takes so much space anymore on your computer as it used to. So really what takes space right now is if you put photos and videos on it, or if you avidly are working and creating reports, Excel and Word and PowerPoints and things like that, those things take up more space. But since people are doing less of that, they've figured, well, I can sell smaller hard drives, right? And so if you buy a new computer, it might have a small hard drive and it gets full very quickly. If so, if you connect your computer, and this is the part that I'll spend more time explaining, but if you connect your computer to the iCloud Drive and store most of your stuff in the cloud, then if you turn this on, then your computer will unburden itself of stuff. Most of it will be in the cloud, and your computer will only have links to it. And so it'll optimize your Mac storage so that your computer keeps working well without being so full. Okay, so now, how you put your stuff in the cloud, where you put it, all that stuff, that explanation is upcoming. So I'm not going to explain that right now, but I was trying to explain what this means. Same with your phone. If your phone is small and getting full and you click on optimize phone storage, then again, only the small stuff stays on your phone. You don't see any different. You see everything on your phone, but the actual file is waiting in the cloud. And what you're seeing when you click on it is a small version that allows you to read what's really on the cloud. Okay, so your phone doesn't get so full and you can keep using it. So what happens is that the cloud becomes the thing that holds all your stuff. Thus, and here's the only negative of this whole system, as awesome as it is, it means that you need more space in the cloud to hold your stuff. And that's where instead of getting the free 5 gigabytes, you need to start paying 99 cents for 50 gigabytes or $2.99 for 200 gigabytes and so on and so forth, because your stuff is really, you're not buying a computer with a bigger storage. So then you need to pay for some space in the cloud to store your stuff. Okay, so that's kind of the general answer. Now, how to put your stuff in the cloud, that's what we're working on. Slowly, we're working on how things get onto the cloud and whether that's a solution for you or not. I personally explain this to you, telling you how awesome it is. And I personally don't have that system set up for me because I am a graphic designer, a photographer, and I have humongous files and I would have to pay hundreds of dollars of storage space if my stuff were to go on the cloud, because my files are huge. So I'm an example of where that doesn't work for me. So it's not the solution for every single person, but for people who don't have huge files on their computer, it's a really great system. And I do recommend it for the majority of the people who aren't particularly working in art or design or graphics with their computer. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. So, all right.
Deanna, is there a class or is there a time when you would show us how to take things out of the Finder and put them in the trash? If we've stored things off the desktop into the Finder, but we don't remember how we did that.
Okay, so this is that class. So this class, and in particular, macOS Level 1 is the class where I teach file management. Okay, so right now I'm setting you up for understanding the computer, the system, the phones, the connections they have, and then macOS Level 1, which starts in another week. I don't know if you're signed up for it or not, but basically this is the intro. Then comes Mac Level 1, Mac Level 2, and they are at the same time. So I finish here on Thursday with Intro to the Mac, and next Monday, no, Wednesday, sorry. And then next Monday, the macOS Level 1 starts. And when that one goes for 3 weeks for 6 classes, then macOS Level 2 starts. So basically from here through December, you can keep taking these classes. And in macOS Level 1, I talk all about file management. And I am going to actually explain a little bit about that today too, or today in this class, how to handle things like that. But yeah, stay with me, sign up for the other 3. And by the time you're done, you'll have a, with all 3 classes, you'll have a much bigger understanding of everything that's happening. Let me just say that a lot of you guys who are here are not new to me, to this class. You've taken some other of my classes. And the first time you heard me speak, you were like, overwhelmed. This is just too much for me. And then as you keep listening and hearing other stuff, aren't things beginning to make sense suddenly? And the first time I explained the cloud, you were like, what? And now you're like, oh yeah, I got it. It's working. So it takes a little bit of time and practice. I try to speak in each class to all levels, but truly it gets to a place where sometimes you just need to get as much as you can, do what you can, move on to the next class, do what you can. And by the time you're done, you'll have learned a lot. And then you kind of take the class again and you're a whole level higher up in understanding, which is what many of the people in this class are. And then you kind of move forward. And finally, if you're someone like Bill, you can actually teach the class. Not in everything. He's still learning some things, but it just depends on practice. Okay. There's Bill. He's like, no, I can't teach the class. I know you can't teach the class, but you intimately understand it. And many of you guys are really getting in there to the understanding because you ask the questions, you do the work, right? So yeah, this class, I will teach you what you said about the Finder and the trash and all that. You will totally get it. But in macOS Level 2, which starts in a week and a half now. No, this is the second week of this class. I have one more week and then the following week. So I'll be talking avidly about file management, which is what the question you asked. Okay, so Julie, what's your question?
2 questions. Will you be doing this again in January?
Well, the good news is that yes, I will actually be working with, I'll get to teach all of the Mac classes again in January. Last year, we only had 1 session of all these Mac classes and then we went and did them all in the summer. But this year they have scheduled the Mac classes for we call it the spring session, but it starts in January. It's winter, right? But the spring session starts in January. So I'll be doing Mac Intro, Mac Level 1 and Level 2. I don't know about iLife yet in January. Okay, so you can take this.
Will it be Monday and Wednesday again or Tuesday, Thursday?
I'll check and see. Usually what they do, I don't know, is in the scheduling is they try to alter it. Like if this time it was in the morning, maybe in the summer it's in the afternoon or in the evening, like they try to capture the need for different people. So I doubt it'll be in the morning. In fact,
Okay.
but I have this, I was given the proposed schedule somewhere. So if I look for an email, I might find what the proposed schedule is and be able to tell you already.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, that's great, because I may have to take it again, but if it's Monday, Wednesday, in the morning, I
Mhm.
sacrifice my painting class, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's I think it'll be in the afternoon. And at this point, it's scheduled to be in person. But as I said, I'm still waiting on on you guys telling me what you really think. And in general, in fact, that's one of the things that I thought I had in a note, and I don't seem to have it in a note. The survey that I want you guys to
Yes.
to take.
You
Did
did
anyone-
send it. You
I
did
s-
send it to us, yeah.
Okay.
Marcia said it hadn't worked for her, but I'll look for it again and send it. So remember I talked about the survey?
I was able
first
to do
week?
it today, Deanna.
Oh, you
for
were.
some reason.
Oh, okay, great, great.
Thank you.
Great. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a survey and I'd have to search for it again because I should have seen, that's what the kind of thing I should have made a note of, that whenever people ask, I would have it ready to send, but I have to go find the survey again to send it to you guys.
It was about 2 weeks ago that right after our
Yeah.
class started. So it was probably that first day.
Yeah, but okay. But the survey request has been out from the beginning of the session because you guys started a bit later. I'll find it. Anyway, when I find it, I'll send it again.
Okay.
And
Deanna, I saved that in a chat, but I don't know how to retrieve saved chats.
Yeah, if you go to, well, talk about file management, if you go and I'll just say it, and if you know how to do it, fine. If not, I won't get it. But if you go to your documents, in your documents, go and there's a folder called Zoom that you didn't create, that Zoom created for you. And in the Zoom folder, if you double click and open it, you'll see by date all the chats saved.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And that's where it is. So if you got it, fine. And if you didn't, you would have to forcefully have saved it. So anyway.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
I have another question, Deanna.
Yes.
Let me put my hand down first. Along the bar, I have a MacBook Pro, and across the control
found it.
bar, I guess you call it,
Yes. Uh-huh.
there is a little wheel. Somebody told me that if I clicked on the wheel, whatever that's called, I can slow speech down or speed it up if I'm watching a recording. And I tried to figure that out, and I
Tell me
didn't.
again, slow the recording. Where do you get this wheel? Say it again.
Where across the bar at the top of my
Oh, the touch bar. Got it.
touch bar, right? There's a little round spoke, I guess you call it. I don't know what you call it.
I've used a computer with a bar only a few times. The one I took to Argentina all summer, but I only played with the bar a little bit because I knew it's not my computer. I wasn't going to use it more. So I'm not completely familiar with it. So does someone else have here a computer bar who can help Julie with how to slow down a recording?
So do you not have across your bar how to control the volume or the lighting?
Oh, volume, yes, but you're saying slow down a recording speed.
Yeah,
Is that what you just said?
that little like a flashlight or something there. Wait a minute. No, it's like a little gear.
No.
It pulls, when I hit it, it pulls up
Here's-
settings.
Here's what I have, and it's not. No, I don't know. You can't see it. No, I don't have a gear. I don't have a gear here. But then again, mine is a bit older. So if you have a newer one, you might have. So there's a button up there. So it's not the touchpad, not the one that you touch, but it's actually buttons. What you're saying is buttons? Or is
Well,
it the little touchpad?
it's a little touch thing across the top that has.
Yeah, so
share
that has
screen.
different tools. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Didn't you have a touchpad, Bill, on one of your laptops perchance? No.
Because it's along the same bar that has my controlling the lighting and the loudness of the conversation.
I,
The touch bar is not on any of my, I don't have it on any of my computers. So it's new.
oh, okay. Yeah, I thought maybe you had it.
Okay, I'll try to figure it out then. I already tried and I'll have to ask the person who mentioned it the other day
Okay,
how she
Alright.
did it. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so I am trying to share with you guys. Let me. I'm trying to share with you guys a QR code. Do you guys know how to use QR codes?
No.
Okay,
I know what they are, but I don't know how to use them.
all right. So it is one of those things that could be pretty useful. So let me see the best way I can. I'm going to share my screen and see if it works remotely. I do not know. This is a test. Okay. So you see how I have a note here that has a QR code. Do you see a QR code? Is this little,
Yes,
this thing is called a QR code. See that?
yes.
Okay. Let's see if it works. Pick up your phone. Pick up your phone.
Will this work on an Android also or not?
Yes, it should. Pick up your phone. What I don't know if it'll work remotely through a shared screen, but and open your camera like you're about to take a photo. And yeah, it works. Okay. You have your camera in front of you? I mean, your phone with your camera? Okay. So I'm about to take a picture, and what I want you to do is I'm going to put my phone in front of the camera, in front of this QR code, and you'll see that these little like lines appear. And when you do that, a little link will appear. And it's kind of, I can't share this happening, but at the top now it says open Qualtrics.com in Safari, it says to me now. Do you see that happening on
Well,
your
how do you
phone?
get into that?
Just open your
Yeah.
camera like you're going to take a photo.
Yes.
Open your camera like you're going to take a photo, and now try to take a photo. Put your camera next to the screen. Focus on this QR code, and something up top says website or code, openqualtrics.com in Safari. You click that. Let me see if I can. I'm sharing the code with you, which is why I can't share my phone with you. But what it's doing is it's telling me to open a code. So now I walk out, and now that I did that, let me just show you what. Okay, let me do it again. I'm doing it on this phone. Now I'm going to share my phone screen. So the code is going to disappear. And now I'm sharing my phone screen with you guys. Where after pointing to that, which is gone now, see this little link that appeared at the top? At the top, it now says openqualtrics.com in Safari. See that?
Oh, yeah.
Now put your mouse on this and your finger on this and click on it. And it's opened up the survey. Those QR codes are links to websites. That's what a QR code is. If you're in a museum and you point your camera to a QR code, it takes you to a link that explains what happened, what this vase is a figure of a Peruvian, yada, yada, yada. If you're here, you click on that link and you're taken to the survey. And it tells, please take the survey. And then you click on this arrow right there and you start the survey, right? So, and it's A, I want you guys to do the survey, but B, I'm trying to teach you how to use QR codes. And this is an example, because I'm sure a lot of people have seen these little boxes around and wondered what they are. Well, what they are is links. You don't even take a photo, you point your camera to a QR code and it links you to something. You click on that link and it'll take you to, if you know, you might see a QR code for at a store where you're shopping, and then you go there and it shows you can order this online, or you know, whatever it is that you're doing. So
Diana.
that's what a QR code is all about. Yes.
These RQ codes
Mhm.
works even though we don't have a Wi-Fi connected, right? Because you take a picture, or it has to be connected.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to take a picture, by the way. You just needed to point it and it'll
Yeah.
send you the cue. So you don't have to take a picture of it. It works if your phone is connected to if you have data and you're doing this in the middle of the street and you have enough data, it'll work as well. in the sense that as long as you're willing to use data to go to the internet, now I have unlimited data, so I don't care. But in the past, I used to pay for very limited data, so I chose not to do that when I was on the street. That's up to you, but it can do it. Mhm. Okay, so did that work for everyone, or are you still like,
Yes.
oh, it didn't work for me and I don't want to say that? Yeah,
Yes, it
Yes,
All
it
right.
worked.
cool.
But it only works
So,
as long as we are pointing it to your screen, correct?
well, in this case, because I was showing you my QR code, but I'm sure you have seen QR codes in other places. Like I said, in the museum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, right next to every little figurine, there'd be a QR code. I would point it to that and it would say, this comes from, you know, the Egyptian god or whatever. So QR codes are used everywhere. That you see one, if you point your phone to it, it'll take you to something that you might be interested or not, or that if you're not interested, don't point your phone to it. But I'm just showing you how a QR code works.
Oh.
Business
it
cards now. I don't know if
is-
you've noticed, but you can pick up business cards now. And sometimes business cards now just say the name and then they just have a QR code. So you point your phone to your QR code and it might take you to their website. It might take you to their Instagram site. It might take you to their survey. It's just a link. It takes you to something. And so a lot of time business cards now are just links to people's websites. And then there you find out about that person's whatever, right? Or to their Instagram
Deanna?
account. Yeah.
Is it possible to do that one more time? Because it
Right.
didn't work for my phone. You just simply, you press photo on your, the photo, you bring the photo.
Bring up bring up your camera as if you're about to take a picture of something. Oh, I
Right.
didn't mean to share. I'm sharing the wrong thing. And
Yep.
let me just share the QR code again. Hold on.
Thank you.
Here you go. So point your camera, just point to your screen and center this box in the middle of your screen, and your phone is going to put like 4 little corners on it and it's going to pop up the link.
My phone doesn't ever get the corners. Oh, I see it. They're yellow.
They're yellow.
Oh,
And then
they're hard to
and-
see.
yeah, but the moment that the links, those appear, then the link pops on the top of the screen saying open such and such website.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you.
Oh, there we
You're
go.
welcome.
Thank you.
What's that?
It's
It
so
worked.
Thank
subtle.
you.
It's so subtle. It's hard to see until you know what you're supposed to look for.
That's why I'm teaching you this. And I do my best in this class to bring in practical, practical stuff. And the others level 1, level 2, there's a more scripted thing I need to do. In this intro to the Mac, I'm trying to make your devices useful for you. It's kind of hard.
Yes.
There's so many things to learn, but QR codes are a thing now.
Great,
And
thank
next
you.
time you get a business card with the QR code, you won't know what to do with it. Now you know, point your phone to it and there it is. So I heard some other people saying something that we spoke over it. I heard a man's voice. So I'm assuming it was Bill or maybe it was Julie.
It was me and
Oh.
I really didn't get it until I forgot to look above the screen.
Ah,
The thing appeared. So
There you
yeah,
go.
thank you. Got it.
yay. So thanks, Marcia, for asking for clarification. I always say, if it didn't work for you, ask me and we'll do it again. Because if it didn't work for you, it probably didn't work for 3 others that didn't want to ask. So yay.
Fabulous. Great, thank you.
Go around town now and look for QR codes. Oh my God, menus. Have you gone during COVID bad when you could only eat outside in a restaurant? I didn't do it, but when I went to Argentina or when I went to New York, they don't want to give you a menu in your hand anymore because of COVID transmission. So if you sit at a table, there's a QR code. And the whole point is you point your phone to your QR code and you get to the menu and then you can make your order because they don't want people to be touching menus. I don't go to restaurants much. Is that not happening here perchance? Or maybe it's happening and you didn't know, so I asked for a menu and they gave you one. But they in Argentina and in New York, the 2 places I traveled to during COVID, not a single menu was handed out. There's a taped QR code on the table if it's a low level one, or is a nice little, a plastic holder with a QR code and it says, scan this to access the menu and then put in your order. And then the server arrives and you go, I want, a burger or whatever you asked for, but because you saw it in the menu that popped up because you scanned the QR code and click the link and you go to that restaurant's menu. So yeah, there's a myriad of ways to use QR codes. Now that you know, you'll start seeing QR codes, give them a try. Every time you see a QR code, just point to it and see what it's about. And then you'll feel comfortable with it when you actually need it. Okay. Now this one took you to the survey. Hopefully you'll finish it, but you're in class, so that's okay. You can come back to it, but you can just swipe it out, keep doing the class, and then you can swipe it back in. So anyway, there you go. Now I'm gonna see this note that I made for the survey, online or in-person survey. I'm calling. I'm going to call this one. I'm going to go over here and tell it it's a title. And now I'm going to right click and pin this note so that now it's on top. So the next few classes that I have, I'll be able to select this and send it to them so that in all the classes, I'll ask them to do the survey. So I just made a note. And next time, if I go to my phone, I made it on the computer. If I go to my phone, there it is. There's a link to my survey. So things that I need when I stop needing it in a few weeks, when the survey isn't valid anymore, I'll just unpin the note, or in this case, I'll just delete this note because it really won't be a valid survey anymore.
Diana,
Yeah.
I did the survey, but I'm not so sure how to send it. I answer all the questions and everything 2 times, but
When you're done with this, isn't there a submit or something?
it doesn't say submit, so that's probably
I don't know. Did anyone else do it? Let me see. I'm gonna not answer, but keep going. Right. Oh, when you're done, it says, thank you for completing the survey. Your feedback is very important. So
Okay.
it just submits itself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, thank you, Diana. This is my first
Nothing.
time in my whole life. So
Yay!
I am so excited. I
First.
always kind of and wondering what was those things were about it. I mean, I
I'm
thought
gonna
it was
add
a Lego.
to the list. I'm gonna add to the list of things to teach in this class QR codes because
Yeah.
this one is a goodie. It's one of those things that I'm trying to see if there's a need for just an iPhone and iPad class as opposed to when there's I think there's a handheld devices class that Norma teaches, but she goes through a whole bunch of different handheld devices. I don't think she focuses on specific. Well, I've never taken the class, but I have a feeling that she goes through the Kindle, through other kinds of tablets and things like that, just different handheld devices. But I think there's a need for me right now. I'm using the Intro to Mac to talk about this, but more and more as I try to teach people how to use the Mac, I need to link it to the phones and to the iPads. And I don't have time inside of what I have to teach to also get to the basic stuff. So I think there needs to be a specific class on this kind of stuff. Problem is, what do you call it to make it interesting for people to take it, not think, oh, I know that, and then they don't take it, and then they make a class and no one signs up. So
Deanna,
I don't know. Yes.
Excuse me, I have another question. Where is it on my phone now?
So where you went to a browser, you went to that survey where it is, it's in your browser. So if your automatic browser is Safari, if your automatic browser is Google, it said there open in something. And I don't know where it said it would open in.
Oh, I see. Okay, I found it. Thank you.
So it's a page in your browser, whatever browser you use. And in my case, it opened a browser in Safari.
Yeah, I have an Android, and so it's in Chrome. When I hit Chrome,
It's in
there.
Chrome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's in a browser, whichever browser you use. Okay. Let me stop my share. So this notes thing was very useful today. So I've managed to accomplish what I wanted to teach you today, even though I've had to do it in a roundabout way. And I got to teach you about QR codes. So yay. All right. Let's keep moving forward. I'm going to close this and I'm going to close. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen and show you my entire screen. When I do that, I know it becomes pretty small for you guys because I have a big screen. So now I have two things on my computer opened up. And remember when we have, and in fact, I had three, I also had the browser. So now I have three things on my window. Do you ever have a place where on your computer have a lot of stuff like this and it gets confusing?
Mm-hmm.
So this is sometimes avoided. Some people don't ever have this, and so it might be you or not, where what you have is a full screen. So your browser actually fills, hold on, this wasn't what I was trying to do. Sometimes your browser is, if you click on this little green button over here on the left of things, it fills your screen, right? And so your entire screen is filled with certain app and you don't see anything else. Or sometimes it's kind of like this, where you have a lot of different things open. Those are the two ways your screen can be presented to you, right? So how many of you guys have this experience where you always have tons of stuff one on top of the other and it's like confusing? If so, raise your hand. And how many of you guys have this thing where all your apps just kind of fill your screen and it's just, you can't see the other stuff, and where did the other stuff go and how do I get to the other stuff? How many of you have that situation? Okay, so Charmaine has the second situation. Oh, a couple of you are saying, so say yes to that one. Raise your hand if you see many, many windows, and say yes, which is the green button, if you have this thing where everything is always filling your screen and you don't know how to get to the other stuff. So that's the yes. Okay.
Yeah, both.
Mhm. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, sometimes it's one app appears in full screen and the other's app appears. So basically, this is the difference between full screen versus not full screen. Okay, so full screen means that whatever you open up fills your screen, which is what I'm doing right now. This Notes app that I was showing you before as a little thing on my screen is now filling my screen. There's no place for anything else. There's just, everything else is gone. Whenever I say go to the Apple icon on the top left, you look up and there's no Apple icon on the top left, right? This
No.
is full screen mode. Now, full screen mode for some people is really useful. If I watch a movie, I want full screen mode. Now, I don't sit here to watch a movie in this screen, but I do have a cable connecting my computer to my TV because I don't have TV, like I don't buy cable. I just connect my computer to my TV and I watch a movie on my TV, but because it's being sent from my computer to my TV. So I want it full screen because I want to see nothing else but the movie when I watch a movie, right? So there's, or when I work in Photoshop and I'm trying to fix my photos and I don't want to have like a small little photo I'm working on. I want to see it as big as I can. And so I make that app go full screen. So there's a time and place where full screen is really useful. And there's a time and place when it's not. And all I want you to know is how to choose to make things full screen or not. So if something is full screen, as this one is right now, and if you don't have yours in full screen, then wait, I'll tell you how in a minute. But to get out of full screen mode, what did I teach you about Zoom? When I said it was full screen, what did I teach you about Zoom? I said, what do you do to get out of full screen Zoom mode?
Escape.
First thing, I said escape key, right? So
Mhm.
any app that's in full screen mode, any app that's covering your entire screen, whatever app it might be, you hit the escape key and whoops, it stops being full screen. But then to now say, okay, mine was already not full screen. How do I get to full screen? If your phone, if your app has the ability to become full screen, which most apps do, but not all, you'll see that there's a little on the top left of your app, you'll see a red thing that could be to close it. It's not the best way, but it could be. You see a yellow button, which is to minimize, which we'll talk in a minute, or you'll see this little double-headed green arrow, which is to enter full screen. Now, I've just discovered something here. Tile to left of screen, tile to right of screen. If that works for Zoom, that would be awesome. I have no idea. Let me just test this. Now I'm just going, hold on. If for all you Zoom people,
Yeah,
would that, oh my goodness.
I've been doing it.
Oh
It's great.
my goodness. In Zoom that I kept telling you guys how to move the window to the left of the screen or the right of the screen. I did not know that. You know, I've been always telling people, grab the end, move it to the side. Oh, I have just learned something new, which is for me incredible. Yay. I had no
So
idea
what is-
about that.
What is it exactly that you just? learned?
Yeah. So now let me share with you guys what I just learned. I did not know Zoom could do that. But now let me share my screen and I'll show you what I just learned. I just didn't know Zoom would do that. And it does. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember I was telling you, these are not full screen. Okay, these are apps that are all open, one on top of the other, and say that I want one to go full screen. I go to this little green thing here and I click on it and I go full screen. All I want you to guys right now to do is go full screen or not full screen. So go full screen. Did it work? Do it on your notes app. Did your notes app go full screen?
I don't even have my screen up. I don't know.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
hit
don't know
escape
how I
key.
would-
So did you open your notes app? The one that we've been working on this whole day? Do you have your notes app still open? And you'll know, if not, go down to your bottom dock and click on the
okay.
little notes
I'm on
icon and
notes
it'll
now.
pull up.
And now it made all of you disappear and my notes is full screen.
Good. Now to get out of that full screen mode, hit your escape key
Okay.
and it goes down. So everyone try that. Go back to full screen.
No,
Yay.
it
And
did
then
nothing.
hit escape. If it filled your screen and you hit escape, it should go down.
Okay, it did nothing. I have a question that may apply to why some of my things just aren't working.
Mhm.
Okay, so in the URL bar, I guess that's what it's called, the bar at the very top, the search bar. I have been oftentimes by habit going to the very far left. And when I do that, something that looks like a star just jumps off my screen and flies off to the left. And I wondered if I was erasing programs or doing something unwanted.
I have 100% clueless about what you're saying. I've never seen that.
Oh.
So there's a solution to that. I need you to share your screen to show me what you're talking about, because I don't know what I like. Sometimes I have an idea and I can guide you, but I have no idea what you're saying right now might be. So you need to learn to share your screen with me so that I can actually see what is happening. But before we do that, you need to be able to not be on full screen for whatever you're at. You're saying that right now Notes is filling your screen?
It's not completely filling it.
Oh,
There's
then
something, yeah.
then it's not full screen. Then the escape worked. Okay, if it's not completely filling it, it is not full screen. It is big. So maybe it is this big, right? Like it's huge, but that's not full screen. Full screen
Yeah.
means, and this is important, you guys, full screen means you stop seeing the little apple up there, you stop seeing your dock down there. Full screen means there is nothing but the app. That is full screen. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, you
Yeah.
enter full screen and you are kind of like in, there's nothing else. And how do I get out of here? How do I move, see other things? Well,
Yeah.
there's
can't
other
see
ways to
either.
do this, but the first thing I said to do is to hit escape. Now, if your window was already really big, so now I make a really big window, right? Or you just
Yeah.
watch my sample. Don't try to do this part, you guys.
Yeah, but
If
I'm
your
not,
window is already, wait, hold on, let me finish the explanation, because now I'm trying to teach the whole class, not just you. So it's not just your problem. I'm trying everyone right now to get something out of your question. And so listen for a second while I finish explaining, and then I'll try to go back to you. So if your app was very big, see how I made my notes app very big right now? It seems to be filling my screen, doesn't it? But is this actually full screen? And why? Why yes and why no? Julie said no. So why is this not full screen?
Well, I can see your picture on my right and I can see your dock at the bottom.
You can see my dock at the bottom, and you can see up at the top, the little Apple notes, stuff like that. Over here on the right, you can see that I have access to my date and time. If you see your date and time, if you see the Apple on the left, if you see your dock on the bottom, that is just a very big app making it, you know, almost cover my screen, but this is not full screen. Full screen happens when I click on this little green thing and enter full screen. Boom. I do not see my Apple there. I do not see my dock there. I see nothing else. That is full screen. And there is a distinction. That's why I really need you guys to understand, because this here, you cannot do anything else without either exiting full screen, which you do by hitting the escape key, or this time, instead of hitting the escape key, let me show you plan B. If you want to get to your dock right now, but you want to remain in full screen, you can put your mouse, and this is my mouse. Do you see my mouse? Let me put the spotlight on my mouse. So here's my mouse. I'm going to kind of bang my mouse down at the bottom of my screen. I'm going to point all the way down and hold there. And my dock came up. That dock that wasn't visible is still there, but I had to grab my mouse and just bang, hit the bottom of your screen, and your dock will come up. Did that work for you? You have to have entered full screen first. How do you enter full screen? By clicking on that green button. Now I'm going to see the Apple icon on the top. I'm going to bang my mouse to the top, and there it comes. The Apple appeared with all of my tools, and then I let go and it disappears. So I bang up at the top and then I bang down. That is full screen. That is true full screen, when you have to, really bang, meaning not just try to point here and there. That won't work. You need to just go boom and like really want to hit the edge of your screen, and then it pops up. If you just kind of hover around here and try to touch, it doesn't work. You need to really, really be on the top.
This is so exciting, Deanna. Thank you. Now I can finally see it.
Well, I don't see you. That's the only problem. Not
it's
even
fine. You're in full
at all.
screen. You don't see me. So you need to just be kind of doing as I say. If you're in full screen mode, meaning you do not see your dock at the bottom and you do not see anything at top, now grab your mouse and take it and straight down to the bottom of your mouse of your screen, and the dock should pop up, or straight up and the Apple icon on the top left should pop up. Vera, your hand is up. Oh, it's from before. It's for, okay. So you guys had answered yes or no to things, and that's what's up. So let me clean that up. There we go. I'm going to clear your feedback, because if not, I had asked you to give me hands up or yeses. Okay. So,
Dan, excuse me, I did get the full screen and didn't
Cool.
see anything else. But when I hit escape, now what I have is, it takes up about a third of the screen, but you are not anywhere in the picture. I've lost the class.
that's fine. Full screen will make you lose the class. So for now,
No,
don't
this is
worry.
not full screen. This is.
I
my-
know. Hold on. Be
Okay.
patient, be patient. I'm still in full screen mode. You're asking me what happens after. So hold on. Right now, I'm still in full screen mode. That's all I'm showing. And you should be in full screen mode. Now, if you get out, which you already did,
Yeah.
the ways to get out are A, hit the escape key. I find that to be the easiest one. B, I'm going to show a different way. Go all the way up to the top, pull up the Apple, so you have to be in full screen again. So go ahead and get in full screen again if you want to do this other way, guys. If you hit escape, right? If you hit escape and you went out of full screen, go
Yeah.
back to the little green thing and hit that to get into full screen again. Okay. Now, the plan B, instead of hitting escape, I don't know why you wouldn't. Escape is so easy, but say that you forgot or something, then go back up, touch the top, like bring that Apple menu down again from the top by touching. And then you can go back to your green dot and see that the dot now has the arrows pointing inwards, and the option is to exit full screen. Okay, so that's the same as escape. And then you escape full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the deal. To give you an example, my app itself is very big, covering most of my screen. But again, it's not full screen, because I do see that now and I do see that now. So when this is happening, you can put your mouse around the edges and see how my mouse here on the left, I'm putting it to the edge and it's getting double-handed, and I'm going to click and drag and make it a bit
Right.
smaller. Or I'm going to put my mouse on this side, or I'm going to click and drag and make it smaller. So I can resize this to a more normal size where I don't want it to be filling my screen completely. You can grab the corner and move both at the same time. So I want you guys to grab your notes app and resize it, so to say, by using the corners up and down, left and right. Just resize it. You can do that also to a browser, if you have a browser open. What you can't do is to the system preferences. The system preferences don't full screen themselves. See how it's gray? And don't resize. I cannot resize this window. This is a fixed size window. There's only a few fixed size windows, and one of them is a system preferences window. Now I see a new hand that this is not a cleared hand. So question, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm in full screen mode, and when I go to the top with my cursor, the menus come up, but when I go to the bottom, I can't get the dock.
Let me get into full screen mode. And when you get to the bottom, you just really hit your mouse to the very end and hold your mouse there. Nothing is happening.
No.
Try again, get out of full screen mode and get in
Oh
again
yeah,
and try
no,
it again.
I got it. It's just it's a certain area. Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
like don't be delicate. Go down as if you're trying to touch your table, like really down. And that's when it comes up. If you
Okay,
kind
got
of hover around the bottom, it doesn't work. You need to try to be pointing down as if you're trying to touch your feet.
Okay,
Then
got
it
it.
pops up. Okay,
Thank you.
that's why I kind of say bang it down, like really, really throw it down, because a delicate touch won't bring it up.
Okay.
And now hit escape key to get out, and then you're in this mode. Okay, so that's the ins and outs. Now, anytime what I've just taught you right now that I'm showing you with the Notes app, that I'm showing you with the Safari app or whatever, any app you have, if you go into full screen mode or escape full screen mode, that's gonna work. There's like 99% of the apps. There's a few, just a counted few, that have a fixed screen size, and that happens to be the system preferences. If you want to click on this thing, you see all of them. If you see one of them, it goes into this mode. It's not changeable. Whatever size screen the system preferences have never changes. Okay, I don't know of any else right now in my brain that doesn't change. I'm sure there's something else maybe that doesn't change. Oh, well, things like dialog boxes, like when I say about this Mac, this little window, again, it doesn't go full screen. See that the green doesn't even appear as an option here. So this window doesn't go full screen either. That one doesn't go full screen. So there's a couple windows that just don't do the full screen thing. But they're not really apps for you enter data. It's apps where the computer is kind of handling the computer for you. So there's no need for them to go full screen or not. Okay, so I'm going to close those too. But the apps that have information and data and stuff like that, the ones that you can resize and change their size willy-nilly, those have a green button here. Now, the thing that I got so excited about, Marcia, is that and this won't work probably for Mojave or for anyone older. It has older apps, you're not older, but the apps are older than Mojave, than Catalina. If you hover over this green thing, now not only can you enter full screen, but this little menu pops down, which allows you to tile your window to the left of the screen or to the right of the screen. You won't have this unless you have more screens. I have more screens, so it's telling me what to do, but I can tile this to the left of the screen. So I'm going to try that. And my window goes, boom, it filled the left of the screen. And now I'm going to go to this one. Oh, you're not, I'm sorry. I was not sharing my full screen, was I, when I did this? I was sharing only, let me share my whole desktop. So now I've got this tiled, and now I have one of my apps tiled to only the left of the screen and one of my apps tiled only to the right of my screen. And if I want to get out of that, I need to go up, hit the top, hit over this and say exit full screen or hit escape. Okay, and now I don't have that in the full screen anymore. Now, my other app, no, that's not my other app. Where did my other one go? Oh, because I have another window, so it went to my other window. So I'm going to pull up Safari was still full screen. So I need to head up and tell it to exit full screen. And now I am in both again. So in why I got excited about that, I don't see the point for anything else. But for Zoom, whenever I've been trying to teach people to move Zoom to half of their screen, well, guess what? Now Zoom, I noticed when I'm not sharing my screen, you can go to your app and do that to the green thing and have it tiled to half of your screen. So anyway, I'm going to stop my share. And now, if you're comfy with how your Zoom is, that's fine. But if you're always wondering where I appear or where I don't appear, so this might help you, Charmaine. Now that I'm not sharing my screen, what are you seeing? How big are you seeing me? Where are you seeing me on your screen? Or are you not?
Well, I started trying things on my own and I made the screen smaller, the screen that was in front of me by grabbing it from the corner and bringing it down. Then I
Great,
saw,
well done.
then I saw launch meeting and I thought I would be getting back to you, but what happened is it stayed stuck on launch meeting.
Yeah, launch meeting you can close. Close that tab completely. You don't need that again. That's just,
Okay.
you're in the meeting already, so you'll never need that again.
And I'm just click the red button on the left there. I'm afraid of losing you guys completely.
Do not click the red button, that you will lose us. So yeah, the red button is to leave the meeting, so you don't need to leave the meeting.
No, so
So-
how do I get rid of this launch meeting thing that I'm seeing and get you back?
The launch meeting, you can just go up and click on that red button to the left of, top left of that window that says launch meeting.
Okay, so then I do click on the red button.
But that's, yeah, I thought you meant the red button of Zoom, but the red button at the top left of launch meeting, you can click to close that, yes.
The side gray screen that says bookmarks and reading list and tab one tab.
Close all of that. You basically have Safari or something like that open. Just quit Safari.
Okay.
You don't need
So
Safari right now.
Yeah, that didn't make you disappear. And then
No.
I have the note thing still up. that we
Good.
wrote.
Notes is what we need. So good. All right. So is there a hand, Sarah? Is that a new question?
Okay,
Oh.
but you're not on the screen. Is that bad?
Oh, I thought you said that you could see me after that. Okay.
No.
I am not on the screen.
No, not your face or anything that you're trying to show.
I'm not showing anything. So all you should see is my face or other people in the class's face.
Just
So,
other people,
what?
just the other people.
Okay, so then that's fine. I can force you to see my face by spotlighting myself for everyone. Are you seeing me now?
No. Everyone
Uh,
else is.
I would have thought that I spotlight myself. You'd see me. Is everyone else just seeing me now? Mainly like the big window?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forced myself to be what you see. So if
Yeah.
you don't see me. Oh, but Charmaine isn't. So I don't know where you're at. Listen,
Okay.
it's I'll try to help you with your computer on your own a little bit later. Okay, so right now, hang out. Because I don't know, you seem to have settings or things that are different. And remember what I said at the beginning, so it's partly computer error and partly it's pilot error, is it called? Human. So there's things that you're doing that might be changing some of the basic settings. Is it pilot error? And so some operator error, there you go. Operator error, where some of the things might be changing enough that what's happening is not something I can relate to until I see it. So I'm going to try to get you to share your screen with me, but I'm going to wait until people are gone so they can sit and watch and learn, or they can go and do their thing. So we'll do it at the end of class. Okay. Let me see. So everyone, let me share my main screen right now again.
Deanna, I had one thing, when I went to that half screen or, tile to the left,
Yeah.
I couldn't then raise the cursor up to the top to change it. I had to exit full screen in two different possible ways. One was view,
Yeah.
and the other was, the normal escape.
So I just tried this for the first time right now, and I found that too, that when I did enter full screen, so now I'm sharing this window with you. When I did enter a tile window to left of screen, and that happened, and then and then I went to this one and shared this one. Are you seeing both my screens now? Because the thing is with Zoom, I think you're seeing two screens. You're seeing on the left my notes and on the right my my email or something like that. You're seeing that? Okay. So I have these two full screens. These are two half full screens. When I went to the top, I did get here, like I hit the top and I get a little green thing there, and I hit the top, I get a little green thing there. But if you don't, which is what Bill is saying, then you would have to hit escape, like when you're in this one and you hit escape, or hit this one and hit escape, then you have to see which one is your main one. And then the other one is still in that other mode. And so I know that the other one was my notes. So I clicked on here to open it, and then I have to hit escape here again. So you kind of have to retrieve it from down here. I'm not sure I like it. This is the first time I try it. I thought it might be useful for telling people to move things to the left on Zoom, but it does seem to kind of take over your screen in a little bit of a different way. So I'd have to test it first with someone who knows what they're doing on Zoom to see if it works as the solution for Zoom. But I prefer, if I need to make two screens big, to move it and make it big, and then move this one at the top and make it big. And then I have all my tools available to me in two big windows without losing my dock and without losing the top. So I like resizing by hand. A lot of people who only work on iPads and things like that, they're not accustomed, because iPads, iPhones, they only show you one screen at a time. And this confuses them, and more the Mac is, they're trying to make things that people like, it translates so that whatever they do on the iPad works also on the Mac. And I think that full screen and half screen mode are for people who are accustomed for the Mac to take over. Or I have a huge screen in front of me. I mean, it's humongous. So I have space for a lot of windows. But if you have an iPad Air, 11-inch, whatever, you don't have much space. So you need full screen mode so that you can see things better, right? And so plan B, you learn to use full screen mode and exit and move in and out of full screen mode, just because your window is so small that in order to, like, if you have 2 or 3 things open like this, everything might be so tiny that it's not useful to you. That's the only other reason I think why you might want to enter full screen mode, other than to like watch a movie or something like that, or work in Photoshop. So the important thing is the escape key gets you out of it. In the case of this half tile, as Bill said, you had to then call up the second app and then escape it. Or like he said, you went to view or something like that. It doesn't seem as simple to use as far as I'm concerned. I'll stick with full screen or not full screen. I actually rarely work in full screen. My son only works in full screen. So it's a matter of preferences, right? You just, if you're an Apple person, you've always had these many windows. It's typical. If you're a Windows person, Windows apps in the past only open in full screen. And so you're accustomed to full screen, and he uses a Windows computer. Now with Windows 10, you can also do what the Apple lets you do, which is floating windows, but most Windows people are accustomed to full screen, and that's it. And so it depends also on what you've been using all your life. If you were working in the past with a PC and now you see a Mac, you might prefer full screen. If you've started with a Mac, you might say, why would I bother going full screen? I like it this way. So I'm explaining the options, and then you choose which one works for you best, right? So right now I prefer to have multiple windows. And what I want to show you then is how to operate these multiple windows. I don't know about you guys, but around, and I know this is total segue, but a little spider just appeared and crossed my screen. I always find that October is the month of spiders. It's like they know Halloween is coming, and I walk through my garden and I go into these webs with these huge spiders. And I just noticed, standing here teaching to you, I have a spider that wasn't here yesterday. I vacuumed up all of the spiders, and it's right there watching me on the wall. And then one just crassly crossed my desktop screen. It just went dee, 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 dee. I just flipped it off. Poor thing. It's in the wrong place. Anyway, sorry. I just had to share that. I just flipped the little spider off my screen, which is not nice. Okay. But it always happens. We always laugh and go, it must be October when we start walking into these huge spider webs in the garden. I think they know that they're supposed to appear for Halloween. Anyway, here we go. I have one window open, which is my Safari window. I have another window open, which is my notes window. So if you guys only have one window open, and now let's open the system preferences. So that brings up 3 windows. I want everyone to have about 3 windows open. Can you do that? Don't have tons more. 3 is a good enough complication. All right. Yes, with that, you got about 3 windows open. Okay. So when you have 3 windows open, it might mean that you have 3 apps running, or you might have many more apps running. It depends. But what you are seeing is 3 windows. So at one point, Charmaine talked about the Finder or not the Finder. So I want to explain what the Finder is or isn't. And basically what I'm looking at right now are open windows showing me applications. So each one of these windows that I'm seeing here is a different application. Okay. This one is my System Preferences app. This one is my Safari app. And notice that I click on it, it pops up and hides the rest. Basically, it comes to the foreground and it moves the other 2 to the background. Now this one here is my Notes app. And when I click on it, it comes to the foreground and the others go to the background. And if you have these not touching each other, like there, then you can't really understand this exercise well. So this one is not changeable. The size of it is not changeable, but the others are. So System Preference doesn't change. So then leave it somewhere in the middle, then make the other ones bigger and the other ones bigger, make them overlap. And now, for example, I know that System Preference is back there, but it's hiding, isn't it? So I want to teach you how to deal with these windows. First of all, when you click on one of them, it pops up to the front. That means it becomes your active app. When you click on the other one, it pops up to the front. It becomes your active app. So what does that mean? Visually, having it be your active app means that it has more color. See how these 3 little buttons are colorful now? And this bar is dark gray and these little icons are kind of black, like everything is live. Another thing it means, this is my Notes app, okay, is that if I go up to the top, what I'm seeing next to the apple is the word Notes, because it's the one that's in the foreground. Watch, now I'm going to click on this window that's back here. Bing. Not only did it pop up in front of the others, but now this is colorful and this is black, and over here now it says Safari, because it is the app that is now my main app. So I'm going to click back on this one. Now this is the app that's the main one, which is my Notes app. So the apple will always show next to it, always next to it, the app that is your foreground app, the main app that is running. And see how the rest of this went white and it's not black, and there's no colors here on these dots versus there's colors on these dots and it's all black and dark gray. This is the running app, the foreground app, the active app, versus this is in the background. Now I click on it, it becomes the foreground app. The name appears over here, it gets colorful. Does that make sense? Now, how do I even get to that System Preferences, which is hiding down there? I know it's open because I left it open, but I can't see it. Does it mean that it's not running? No, it just means that these apps are bigger and are hiding it. So how do I make it pop up to the front? Well, I'm going to head down to the dock, and yeah, his preference is running, and I know it's running because I see a little dot, and Notes is running because I see a little dot down here, and Safari is running because I see a little dot down here, but they're running. I just don't see it. So I'm going to click on this icon and ooh, there it comes. And it just happens to be smaller than the rest, and it was kind of hidden. And then now click this again, it's going to hide again because it happens to be a smaller window, but I know it's running, and I know it's running only because I see the dot. Okay, can you guys see the dot under the apps that are running? If you click on any one of them, I'm going to click on Notes down here. It's also going to come to the front. So this thing that I'm doing here, back and forth, I can also do by clicking down here and here and here. Oh, Now I open mail, which I didn't mean to open. I was going towards this, so the mail is not open. And here. Okay, and here. And here. So I'm just, instead of clicking on this and this to make things change, I'm clicking down here on that, or on this, or on that. Is that working for you guys too? Are you able to, were you able to make that work?
Minimize
Yep.
it.
Yes,
Okay, so you can
Minimize too.
actively work. I'm gonna mute you for a second, Charmaine, because I'm hearing you guys talking. There we go. So so basically, as you try to activate the apps that are needed, you have to either click on the window that's visible or click on the dot that has a dot on it for it to pop up to the front. Any questions about this? It seems to me, Charmaine, that maybe your husband has to take the class with us so that he can be a part of this. My only concern here, let me explain my concern, because now you're muted, is that if he is doing it for you, either, like I said, we're going to talk about it in 5 more minutes, which is fine. But the other problem is that then you won't learn it, right? So my concern is that if he's fixing it for you, which is what's happening right now, I don't know if he did or did not fix it. I don't know what you called him in for, because I wasn't paying attention. But I need you to be able to figure out things for yourself. Otherwise, you'll never be independent. And the way I explain this in class, and you guys who've been in class with me know, is that I always say anyone who comes in with a friend or a partner, or even whose neighbor happens to reach over and does it for them, I always say that I'm going to chop their hands off. Remember, I'm going to have a little guillotine and chop the person who's helping's hand off, because then the person who's trying to do it won't learn. If it's done for you, you do not learn it, right? So I am happy to have him support you and help you. But if he has to do it for you, then you won't learn it. So my request is that if he's going to help you, have him be part of the class, have him ask me what's happening, and so that I can see what he's fixing for you. But right now I have no idea where he put you or what he did for you. So I don't know how to continue helping you. Does that make sense? So I just need it to be a bit more, you listen to me and learn to help yourself, which I know I told you that we do at the end of the class, which is about 4 minutes away. So be patient. But in the future, do your best to have him show you what to do and you do it. Like when I teach people, I'll hover over their screens and I'll point with my finger, click here, but I'll have the student click there versus clicking for them, because then you're still clueless as to what to do. Does that make sense? So next time he helps you, ask him, what should I do? And then do it yourself. And he'll say, no, do this, right? And it's frustrating. It's very hard because it's so easy to want to just grab the mouse and do it for people. I totally get that.
Well,
But
yeah,
it doesn't help you.
he doesn't, he gets impatient. And the other
Exactly.
thing is that he sometimes just does it through intuition. So he doesn't have my problem. I'm not intuitive with math
Exactly.
or computers.
Which is why I'm saying in class, in person, he wouldn't be there to help you and you'd be learning. But over here, whenever he does things for you, you are not learning. And so that's all I'm going to say about the subject. Then you handle it whichever way you want. But it's frustrating. It's hard for me to teach you if someone else is doing something for you and I don't know what he's doing. All right. I will ask him to be there now when we share, you and I, so that I can understand what's happening, because I don't know what's happening on your screen and he seems to understand. So I need to understand so that I can help you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oof, hold on. Something burning, you guys?
Yeah, a bit of chocolate.
Is it all taken care of?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, I started I'm standing here and it's like, whoa, something's really burning. Today is kids, school is out today because it's teacher learning development day. So the kids are home and I'm suddenly smelling
Burnt chocolate.
things burning. Okay, guys. So I just wanted you guys to understand this, the whole activating what is the app that you need to work on. one more thing I want to explain about this. It really changes your menu up on top. This is truly important because if my notes are up, my notes is what's active. I go up to the Apple, I see the word notes, then these words here apply to notes and only to notes. So if I go to see view, I'll be viewing the notes or something like that. If I go to file, I'll add a new note or a new folder, or I will, everything is about notes, right? Now, if I instead click on this window, which is Safari, and it says Safari here, then all of these guys here apply to Safari. So it would be file, new window, new tab, edit history bookmarks. So all of these things will belong to Safari. Does that make sense? So everyone goes, oh, but that's not the same. Now look at this is really important. Look at the third thing. This is the third thing that I can show up there. I've been showing you app this, app that, app there. The fourth thing actually is the Finder itself. So here's the Finder. Click on your desktop somewhere that's not one of these windows. And what pops up here is the Finder, because the Finder is that stuff that's on the desktop. And when I go up here, it says file, new Finder window, edit, view. It's all regarding to the Finder. So my most important thing I want to leave you guys with is that when you click on a window, all these things refer to this window. If I click on this window, all of this refers to system preferences. If I click on this one, all of this is for notes. And if I click just on the background, it all refers to the Finder. Okay, is that clear? So a lot of the times people are, I am looking at notes right now. I am looking at notes. Notes seems to be what I've got the biggest, but the Finder is the window that's the name. It's because I didn't click on this. See how it's grayed out? So the active program is actually my Finder. This is one of the hardest things to understand. So we'll keep repeating this. This is actually like a concept that's like, what do you mean? No, notes is right here. How can notes not be my active program? Well, it's not, because it's not been selected. It's not been clicked on. The Finder, I somehow clicked somewhere on this ocean or on this sky. And if I go up here to file, edit window, these all refer to the Finder. Or if I click on this and it's the biggest one, and it makes sense then that this is Safari, it's fine. But what if instead I had clicked here? So again, Safari seems to be what's the most important thing. But since I clicked here, which meaning the sky or the ocean, I'm actually in my Finder. Okay, so there's really 4 apps that are running right now. My Finder, that little dot, Safari, that little dot, Notes, that little dot, and System Preference little dot. And there's actually a 5th one, which is Zoom, which I can't share with you guys, but you don't see Zoom. It's in itself when I share. So these little dots are all active programs. And if you have many more, as I said the first day, close them when you come to class. So now what I'm going to lead you into is closing them. We've passed the hour of the class by 2 minutes. So I'm going to close down the class. Close by quitting if you want, by saying right click, and I'm quitting the Notes app, and then Notes will close down. Or, you can close them from there, or you can go up here. And I don't recommend closing from the red dot. If you close from the red dot, I'll teach you next week, but you're really closing the window and not the program. I always recommend going to the file name and saying quit, or going down to the icon, right click and saying quit. Those are the 2 appropriate ways to shut down a program. Or if you like shortcuts, then when it is the active program, then you can say, hold down the command key and hit the Q, which is command Q would quit Safari. Okay, so quit all these things, and or quit system preference, and or quit whatever. And now I've closed down, and the only thing that I've left running now is Zoom. So that is a good way to end the class. You guys play around with this whole thing of making an app be the foreground or in the background. I'm going to teach you next week. You can hide them and still have them running. You can see them or not see them and still have them running. As long as there's the dot on the dock, it's running. You might see it, you might not see it. It might be hiding on another window or it might have been minimized, okay? So practice, practice, practice so that you can bring up questions, all right? So now, class is officially over. I'm gonna help Charmaine. If anyone wants to stay on to see what's happening, please stay on. But
Okay.
other than that, I'll see you on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Deanna, I'm
Send
having,
me my husband.
Yes.
Deanna, I'm having some confusion with using an external monitor. Do you have a moment to help me with that? The size, either it's
Mhm.
too big for the monitor and I can't access the buttons I need to click on to change it, or I can't see
So
it.
you have what computer? Tell me what computer you have.
I have a
you have
MacBook
A
here.
laptop. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
then
have
you
a-
have a cable connected to a monitor that's
Yeah.
sitting next to it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
There he is.
right now I have like 3 monitors on mine. So when you say that you're having issues or problems
Yeah,
with it,
so it's either the image on the monitor is either too big or too small.
mhm.
And right now I'm on the monitor screen to help adjust it.
Oh, okay, I see. So so the way you need to do that is on system preferences. So
Right.
open your system preferences.
Yep,
I'm going to share my system preferences here.
yep,
And you go over here to your displays, click on displays.
yep.
And then depending on which display you're working with, like if you go to arrangement, see how I have 3 monitors? I have my main one and 2 more. You put it in the position that is the one that's the best, right? But what you're saying is that one of your monitors appears smaller or bigger or something. So over here, it shows you the default resolution for a monitor. So
Okay.
this one refers to the monitor that I'm in, but you'll see that your other monitor, if you go to your other monitor, you'll see the same window is available for that one.
Right.
And then you can change the default resolution for that one. You can scale it to a different size. Right? So you go
Okay.
into
Oh, yeah.
you can scale your, so you can go over here and click on scaled and change the scale for what you want your other monitor to be.
Right. Got it.
And
Okay.
so right now the default for display is on, but if you want it to be smaller or bigger, you can click on this. So the default works, but if I click on that, well, let's see how suddenly everything seems, I don't know if you'll see the demo. Let me just share my entire screen.
For some reason, I've lost your image on my Zoom and I can't get it back, Deanna. I don't know what happened. There's just
Yeah,
oh no, now I've got it. Now I've got it.
it just pops in
Okay.
and out because I'm changing my monitor
Oh,
display,
okay.
so it's a bit of a mess, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why this one's hard to demo, because when I do that, everything shifts. So
Yeah.
did that help? So on my other screen, so I'm going to share my other screen over here is showing a different window with a picture of the monitor I have on this one, and I can default
Right.
or I can scale
Yeah.
it to a different resolution.
Okay. I've got that now on my external monitor. I've got all of the things that I can see your screen, but
Mhm.
on my laptop, the Zoom meeting is black, and I don't know why. I
That-
see this.
Yeah, Zoom and different windows are hard to deal
Okay.
with because you need to move it yourself. Like I am moving right now this window, like I can move this Zoom from here and now you're seeing, and then
Yeah.
move it to another one, now you're not. You kind of have to drag your Zoom windows from monitor to monitor yourself. They don't automatically move in or out.
Right.
Um,
And what are what are the settings in order to have a different image on my computer versus on the external monitor?
Oh, okay. So that one's important. You want to go to displays. You want to let me share this. And then that's the last thing, because I did say I was going to
Yes,
help
of course.
Charmaine,
Of
and I want to
course.
make sure to help her because otherwise I'm going to go way into the afternoon. So when you go into your display down here,
Yeah.
You need to make sure it's not mirroring.
So do I just unclick where it says show mirroring?
You show mirroring options in the display when available. That just means that it's up here. On the, up at the very top right, it'll show you the options to mirror or not. You don't want to mirror. So when I go to arrangement,
Yes,
see up here where it says display arrangement, if
yes,
you say mirror displays,
yes.
then all your monitors are showing the same thing. And that's not a good use of a second monitor. So if this is on, turn it off.
Okay,
Mine is off, and so each monitor shows me something different, which I think yours is must be off, right? Yeah,
yes, mine's off.
yours is off. So that's fine. That's all you need is now, if I want to watch a movie, I do mirror on. So then whatever movie I'm seeing here mirrors onto my TV, right?
Got it.
And so that's a different moment, but to just use it, I don't want it mirrored on.
And
Okay.
the gather windows, do I do anything with that?
I don't know. Oh, it's so that all my different, okay. I've had to test it because I didn't know what it was. And what that is that now all my windows for each one of my monitors appeared right here instead of being in the right place. So this is the one that was on that one, and this is on that one, but they all gathered into here so you can handle your 3 displays, or in your case, your 2 displays right in
Got it.
front of you. Normally, if not, they pop up in their own windows, is what is happening now. Okay, I got to stop right now because I
Thank
need
you.
to help
Of course.
Charmaine.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Now. Okay, I'm here. I went to get him because
Perfect.
I'm really dull at this. I mean,
No,
I
you're
feel like-
not.
okay, I'm the most.
You're not.
beginning
Trust
person
me,
here.
trust me, there's a lot of people in this class right now who have taken this and were feeling just like you when they first started, and now they're commanding or semi-commanding their computers. So you'll get there. You just need to stop thinking that you can't do it, and then you'll be fine. Okay? So now, and what I was, oh, hold on.
I can see your photographs now, but just
Mhm.
during that
Okay.
whole class time, nobody was visible. I was just hearing auditory and nothing that related to the class was on
Right.
my screen.
So the only thing I cannot do is share my Zoom screen. So of all the things I can help you with, I cannot help you with your Zoom settings because you can't share them with me either. It's like Zoom doesn't share itself, and it's a weird thing about Zoom. And so it's the only thing that when you say you're having issues with Zoom, it's the only thing I can't help you with. Any computer stuff that has to do with the Mac, I can help you with. Zoom, it's much harder because I can't have you show me what's happening and I can't show you what's happening with me. You know what I mean? So it's a very frustrating situation. So the most important thing I see right now is understand what's up with your computer setup with the rest of it to see if I can then understand what's happening with your Zoom. And you kept saying that there's things you see, things that you don't see. So what I need you to do right now is to share your main computer screen with me. Okay. And so I'm going to ask you to follow the steps that I'm going to slowly point out to you so that I can then be looking at your actual screen so that I can try to understand what is happening when you say that it's not working for you. Okay. And then the first time you share your screen is going to be relatively complicated. You'll have to go through a few steps. That it's good to have your husband there so that you can have some backup. After it's set up, then sharing your screen will be simple, and then you won't need support anymore. And Charmaine's husband, what's your name?
Craig.
Hi, Craig. I want to stop saying Charmaine's husband. So Craig, one thing that I mentioned to Charmaine, and let me write down your name so that later I can remember it. I'm not good at remembering names otherwise. One thing that I was mentioning is that I thoroughly appreciate how you're supporting her, but that when you do come and do something to her screen, try to tell me what you're doing or not, because then I'm kind of lost as to where she's at. And what I recommend when people come into the physical class and we're in person versus in screen, I always kind of make a joke, and everyone knows this joke already by heart because I make it every single class, which is if everyone reaches over and touches someone else's mouse to do it for them, I will bring in my little guillotine and cut off their hands, because it's the best way for the person to not learn.
I totally understand.
Right?
I totally agree.
So I'm happy to have you give her support, but ideally tell her what to do and then see if she can do it so that she can actually begin to be self-sufficient on her computer. Okay.
I agree.
All right. So now I'm going to ask you, Charmaine, to
Yes.
see if we can share your screen with me. So in your Zoom window, at the bottom, if you hover your mouse over your Zoom window, it kind of becomes live. You click over it to have it be live. Do you see a big green button that says share screen?
On the far left side, I,
Okay, on your Zoom,
Far
so
right
click,
side.
click somewhere on the Zoom so that it becomes live. So that up next to the Apple, you see the Zoom US name, right? You want it to be your live, your active program.
Right there. isn't it?
Click on something.
there's something that says mute, so I'm just gonna.
Okay, all right. No, don't click mute. I need to hear you. Now, with your eyes, keep going to the right and you'll see stop video, security, chat, and then a big green one that says share screen.
Where
Do
are
you
those
see
three
that
dots?
one?
Oh,
okay.
Dots.
Under the three dots, do you see something there that says share screen? That three dots means more. Do you see a share
Yes.
screen over there?
No, I don't see anything that says shared screen.
Okay, so then before the three dots, next to participants, next to the chat, do you see a share screen? It's
Get off that.
green.
Get off that, honey.
I'm getting off of that entirely.
Go over
Mhm.
here. to those-
Well-
Those buttons there.
You really, it might not be there. Next to, it's on the same area where the mute button is.
Right across the top.
Uh-huh.
Across the top.
Okay,
Remind me what computer you have, just so that I can,
Mac Air,
Mac Air,
I-
okay.
I
Yeah,
think
go
so.
there. Go to the next
And
side.
so you guys you really don't see a big green square button because it's
There's a big
green, the rest are
square
white.
Button, it's gray and it looks like a
And
keypad.
it says show grid video. And then next to it, go to the next one. It says show thumbnail video, and the next one over.
You guys are on
Show
something
active
else.
speaker video, and the
No,
last one.
you guys are on something else. It's not where I'm needing you to be. This is really strange.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's back out. Wherever you're at is not, which is, thank you. By reading out what you're seeing is how I can tell that you're not in the right place. So describe, can you take a picture with your phone and then show me that picture? I need to see what screen you might be in.
Okay.
Take a picture of your screen and then turn your phone around and show me what you're seeing, because I am
But show the whole.
completely lost.
You want the whole
Yeah,
screen?
do it that way.
Yeah, so I have an idea of what you're seeing, because I'm
Show the upper part there. Yeah, that's good right there.
perfect. Thank you, Craig. That's perfect. Showing her how to do it. Okay. Now go to the photo, turn around and go to the photo that you just took. Turn your phone towards you and go to the photo you just took.
Yeah.
Turn
Great.
aside.
And now show me that photo. Okay. Let me hold it there while I make your window bigger, because right now I need to see it bigger. Okay, so, aha. Okay.
It says the host has spotlighted. I saw that.
Yeah. So you are not, you have Safari open in the background. We want to close that out to make it,
It's actually, it's Firefox.
or Firefox. So let's close out of Firefox. So go click on that Firefox window.
Do it.
Click on that Firefox window where you're seeing like news or whatever
Okay.
it is, just click on it. And now go to the very Apple, go to the Apple at the top, how I was showing before, and quit Firefox. We need
Click
to
off.
just close on any extraneous windows so that I
Click
can
off of
just,
Click off of this. Okay, now click. Okay.
yeah, now say quit.
Go and close out Firefox.
Mhm.
Go into Firefox.
And you do that by going up to the,
Firefox,
and then the word Firefox, and then all the way at the bottom of that little menu, say quit Firefox.
Firefox, okay.
Okay,
How come I had to go through 2 steps to do that?
because you first have to select the program and then you have to quit it. So it's, you can do
Oh,
a
I see.
shortcut, but I don't want to confuse you with shortcuts
Close
right
it
now.
down.
And we went to Apple.
Close the tab. Click.
Okay.
Okay, so is
She's on
Firefox,
Safari, though.
it's what,
She's
Saf-
also Safari's up.
okay, so let's close Safari. Let's close Safari, close all these extraneous apps that aren't
Safari.
specific.
Quit Safari.
Correct.
Plan B, you go to the dock and you right click and you quit the app from there too. But just one way is good enough for now.
the dock and quit.
No,
No. Oh,
you're
that's
good, honey, you're
NB.
good.
You're good doing it up
Just
from the
right back there.
Apple.
Right back there.
It's an email that I was on. One of
Okay,
your old emails is there. So I'm gonna
so go up,
X out of
click,
that.
click on that email. Don't X out of things because you're only closing the window and not the app. So part of what I'm trying to teach right now is how to close an actual application, which might have many windows. So click on the window
Yeah.
to activate it, make it your foreground window, and now go up to the Apple,
I think.
up to the Apple icon way at the top.
Window.
And now go to the word mail or whatever program is and quit. Keep quitting from the very top.
Click
And
on
so
the
you're
window.
left-
Okay, so you've identified it right now and see you're in mail. That's what you're in.
Yeah, I'm in mail.
Okay, so now she wants you to quit mail.
Quit mail.
Okay, but I wasn't supposed to click on anything
Yeah, but
else.
No.
that identifies what program it is by doing that.
Yeah. If
You've
you look at the little
selected
apple on
Finder.
the top right, yeah, if you look at the
Now
little
it's
apple on the
Finder.
top, it should say,
Okay,
it should
go-
say the
go
word
back
mail
and
at
click
top.
on that,
Okay,
click on it. Now it says mail. Now go over to mail.
single click. Okay, just single click. All right,
Go down
and
and
quit
click.
mail.
Right.
Mhm,
Oh.
exactly. That just
Okay.
helps you bring up the program. Is there anything left popping up other than Zoom? Do you have anything else showing up?
Just that's
No.
it.
You just have Zoom. Okay. Yep.
Well, she's got notes.
Leave notes because that's the one we were kind of working with to learn. So leave it open. And then look at your dock down there at the dock. Is there anything else that has a dot, a black dot on it? Notes should have a black dot on it. Zoom should have a black dot on it. And at this point, hopefully nothing else. Is that correct?
Where
That's it.
would Zoom have a black? I don't see Zoom on here at all.
Okay, on your dock. You don't see Zoom on your dock. It's a blue icon with a white little,
Oh, maybe that's it right there. Check that.
yeah, it's okay. It
Oh,
needs
that's
to be
preview.
on.
That's preview. That's not
Okay.
Zoom.
But does it have a dot underneath? No.
Now there's two question marks on the dot.
Yes, I remember you showed
Then,
that. Those
then
we
there's
need to do.
notes and that's it.
Okay, so now take another picture of where you're at right now and show me so that I can now keep helping you from here.
Back up a little bit down, give it a little more space.
It just seems so small that she's not gonna
Okay.
be able to see it.
Yeah.
No, it's helpful. It's fine.
There you go, turn it sideways. There
I
you go.
know.
There you go. And
There
then
you
the-
go. Now
the-
a little bit higher up, a little bit to the right now, or to your left, your left, your left, your left, more to your left. There you go. Now I see it. Okay, so you have two little windows on top where you're seeing the photo of Jeannie, who's still in class, and me. Okay, so that's the extent of your Zoom. So
Yeah.
when you go ahead and click on those two, click on that picture, whatever the picture of me and Jeannie, that little tiny strip on the right side, click on that.
The little blue strip or no, that's
Yeah,
not.
there's only there's two photos right now, Jeannie and I, right? Two little mini windows, right?
Click on the
when you-
window itself.
Yeah. Click on that,
Okay.
those, on my face, on me, Yee, click on me. All right, now when you clicked on me, do you see around it, do you see like little, in those two, like at the top, do you see like a little line, a little bar, a little taller bar, something to make
Yeah.
it bigger? Okay, click on the one that,
Well-
click on those and see what happens. Tell me. The one where it's just 1, 2, or
Okay.
3, it just gets smaller or bigger.
Okay, you just,
No, I
you just
clicked on
now,
it
now,
twice.
now we just see ourselves.
Okay.
Okay,
Mute.
All right, so I'm just step by step trying to figure things out. Okay, so Jeannie disappeared and I disappeared and you see yourself in there? Is that what you're saying?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, mhm.
we just now see ourselves.
Okay. Under that, do you see like a little arrow under that?
Okay, here's something very interesting is
Uh-huh.
that we're clicking on this program, but on the left it says we're in notes.
Zoom
Yeah.
is weird. It's the only program that kind of hides itself. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain. Zoom doesn't, it's trying to be not intrusive to your computer. It's just trying to
Oh.
share stuff. And so it doesn't act like all the rest of the programs
Okay.
would act. And that's
Right.
why it's the hardest one for me to help with, because I can't even have you share it with me until I can have you share. So that little window that you're seeing, that little tiny bit that you're seeing, I'm trying to see if I can imitate what's happening, and I'm not faithfully imitating it because I don't have the same windows that you have. But when you see those two little windows, I want you to be clicking on them so that at the very top by the apple, what word is right behind the apple? What does it say up there? Does it say zoom.us?
No, it now says Finder.
Okay, so click again on a photo of me or of you. Click on the photo that's Zoom.
Just on
Click,
the actual
click.
photo.
Just click on it, yeah, to activate it. Now, does it say Zoom US?
Not tap, click.
What's the
There's a
difference?
difference. Tapping is like that, but that's clicking.
Yeah,
Holding it down a little longer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually clicking on it.
on the window. Now, next to the apple, does it say Zoom?
And it still says Finder.
Okay, hit the escape key right now. No, because that would be escape for the Finder. Okay. I'm trying to get your tool, your Zoom tools up. And right now it's in this minimized mode where it's trying to be inobtrusive to let you use your computer. But I'm trying to get it to be obtrusive because I need you to share your screen. And
Sure, I
that's,
understand.
it's kind of, all right. So when it's in that mode, how else do I make you bring it up? If you go to the dock, you don't see anywhere a little of the blue icon with the white kind of film camera. That's the part that I don't understand. You should in your
Yeah,
dog be
it's right
seeing
here.
it.
No, that's FaceTime. Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
it's
that is-
Ah,
that is it.
okay. That
Yeah.
is similar
it.
to FaceTime.
Okay, click
Okay,
on that.
good. Now, click on that icon. Did a window come up?
And now the
Now
whole screen is us.
We're full size.
Okay. Now, right click on that icon down there, right click on
Right
that icon.
2 fingers. is a
Yeah,
right click.
yes. And now, do you see a little thing that says,
me
from
see.
bottom to it says, quit, hide, show all windows? When you
Stop
right,
video, it says.
Okay.
no, don't.
A right click is 2 fingers, you said, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, 2
Now I right
fingers.
click on it. It says start
Okay.
video.
Okay, then start video again, because now you stopped the video. So when you right click, the only thing that you see there is stop video and start video.
Okay.
Is that what you're seeing? There's no other option
Yeah.
popping up when you right click on that icon on your dock?
No, it was stop video and start video. I started it.
Okay, so
I-
what I'm gonna, when I say right now, it might sound weird, but I'm gonna ask you to leave the meeting and join me again. Maybe that'll reset your Zoom, reset your
Did I-
Zoom. So
did
do you
I-
have, wait, do you have the link to this class handy?
Kind of, yeah, it was in the. email.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have us leave the class and join again, which would take a total of 10 seconds, as long as you can easily find my email, and I'll be waiting here with the class open, waiting for you to join me again. I think that might reset your Zoom. I need to find a reset or this won't work. And so the one way that tends to reset it is by joining again, okay? So I'm gonna close the class right now. Go find his email and click again, and I'll let you in again. I'll see you in a couple of, hopefully 30 seconds, okay?
Okay,
Mm.
Click.
click leave.